To you, this is Radio Generation 88.8 in Nairobi. We are the home of hard truths and bold insights. Welcome to the People's Breakfast.
Good morning, neighbor.
Well, I'm not your neighbor, but I'm your neighbor across the
You're my neighbor here.
Yes, yes.
You're also my neighbor in Nairobi.
Ay, hapana.
Anybody in Nairobi huyo ni neighbor wako?
Hapana. Nairobi ni kubwa.
Ni kubwa sana.
And besides, I actually don't live in Nairobi, so I am not your neighbor.
Okay. So you're my neighbor here. Good morning. And of course, good morning to everyone listening to Radio Generation. This is the People's Breakfast, of course, on 88.8 Nairobi, 90.7 Mombasa, 92.1 kule Malindi, 92.6 kule Lamu, and then 89.5 kule Garissa.
Kuna watu tumeamka nao asubuhi ya leo na ningependa niwasalimie.
Yes.
This is happening on X. So if you're on X and you've tweeted us, please pokea salamu zako sasa hivi. Let me find you. Kuna watu kadhaa waliamka na sisi leo, and it's only fair if we actually say a very good morning to them. So there's Jibril Ibrahim. A very good morning to you. How are you doing? I hope wherever you are, you're enjoying the show. We have Chungu Mutisia. Good morning, sir. How are you doing? I hope everything is good on your side. Kuna jamaa anajita on X, an official messenger. Yeah. Amesema good morning, loving the energy y'all bring with those convos vibes. Keep serving up the realness and the laughs.
Wow.
That is on Radio Gen KE on X. So if you're there, kindly let us know where you're tuning in from and we shall definitely give you a shout out. Kuna jamaa anajita Fisher Folk pia. A very good morning to you. Sophie Daud, habari yako. Geoffrey Mugaka, habari ya asubuhi. I hope wherever you are, uko sawa sawa. We also do have George Raphael. A very good morning to you. Yes.
Saying hi on our social media pages, by the way, even on Instagram, that is on Facebook, TikTok. Actually on Facebook at Radio Generation Kenya, you will find us there already. Tumeshaenda live pale, so you got to tune in to follow the conversations that are happening here. And for those of you who want to follow us on that is Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it is Radio Gen KE.
Right. And also, speaking of which, we're going to be checking out your WhatsApp messages on our WhatsApp group, which is Radio Generation. Yeah, when you get there, please let us know that umefika tukupatia salamu. On YouTube as well, Radio Generation tuko pale. You can check us out. We're actually live there. And on our website, that is rgk.co.ke. I usually say we are internationally recognized. I like it that as of yesterday, when people saw the posters that the guests that we will be having today, they already sent in questions. Wow.
Yeah, people are so interested. People are looking forward to the interview. So
leo hatuna maswali mingi, tunaacha audience yulize maswali.
Leo, by the way, you audiences out there, you know these guests, maswali mtume kwa wingi, because of course we want to have conversations that will shape opinions and decision makings in our country.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into it. Which day are we celebrating today?
Today is World Day for International Justice.
Okay.
Ama pia unaweza kuita International Criminal Justice Day. And this is a day that is commemorated to highlight the importance of global accountability for serious crimes and the development of international criminal justice system.
So we have a couple of courts that deal with international crime. So we have the ICC.
Actually, which is the main, like every other person knows.
Yeah.
Yes.
International Criminal Court.
Yes.
Then we have the ICJ, International Court of Justice. Yes. So you can go seek justice at the ICJ if you feel in your locality, in any part of the world. If you feel like kidogo mambo hayako sawa, you can go to the ICJ.
That like in your country you cannot get. Actually, we have seen this happening actually even in our country.
Yes.
You remember actually with the 2007 elections, we saw what happened and we saw how ICC came in. Then of course there are the regional courts also. We have seen some of our leaders going there to seek justice, feeling that the justice system in our country is not working.
Actually, like for example, Mike Sonko did go to the East Africa Court of Justice.
Yes.
When he felt aggrieved wakati ambapo alijipata yeye sio county boss, governor.
Yes.
Lakini for him, I think it was a bit too late. It was a bit too late for him.
Yeah.
However, nonetheless, look, there are many avenues you can seek justice, lakini kama umeibua kuku, tafadhali usiende kwa ICJ ama kwa ICC.
There is a procedure actually before you get there. There is a procedure. You cannot just jump. Actually, you cannot jump from the local courts where unataka kupanda mpaka to the Supreme. There is a procedure.
Okay. Aya. So is that the only day we are celebrating?
The other one is just another
Independence Day country
unofficial, not really on it is just World Emoji Day.
World Emoji Day.
Yes.
I use emojis. However, unfortunately, I am limited to about 5 emojis.
You already know the meaning of only 5.
5, yes. Juzi ndio niliambiwa kuna yenye nimekuwa nikimisuse ya kublush.
Actually,
me I thought it was a smile.
Every other person, especially here in Kenya.
Right.
I know you have been misusing 1 or 2 of these emojis.
I've been misusing the one for blushing. I always thought it is a smile. Ile ati thank you. So mtu akaniambia juzi ati mbona unashinda ukitumia watu hii emoji ya kublush. And then I looked at it and I was like, by the way, there's actually one that smiles. There's another one that laughs.
Yes.
There's one that laughs out loud. Then now there's the one that blushes. And I was like, wait, now I know the difference. Now I use them differently. But anyway, I also use the smiling emoji. I use the laughing emoji inatoa machozi. I also use the sad emoji kana kamdomo kana kame curve na juu. Alafu napendanga kutumia gani nyingine. Oh, the fire emoji. Nani atumiangi fire emoji? Mimi natumianga fire emoji.
Just everywhere.
And to my family members, I use the love emoji. Kale ka throbbing heart, kale kana pump hivi.
Oh.
I like using that one. Especially when someone says in something.
Family groups,
Yes. The family hao tu peke yao ndio wanatumianga hiyo emoji. Ukiona nimekutumia emoji, jua hiyo ni by mistake. Please delete. Situmiangi hiyo.
Yeah. So I think emojis by they are good. Sometimes they make your work easy.
Yeah.
So you just want to communicate and words. Again they help also pass a message, a feeling to a message. They do bring that feeling to a message.
Actually, so I feel like it's what you're trying to say is that they give an emotion.
Yes, of
to
course.
A message.
Yes.
So you can say umenikosea, then you add the crying emoji, for example, to show that you are extremely sad. You know?
I know I do misuse a lot of this.
Okay.
I do. That one is a fact. I know I do. So
umelan.
So today tunasherekea hiyo siku. Yes. Now
the train.
Let me check. The train is taking us to US actually. It's about where is it?
Tumekuwa tukienda US sana. Jana tulitupatia something by Roosevelt the wife. Juzi ukatupatia ingine by juzi ilikuanga ya Madiba.
Yes.
Haya, leo tunaenda wapi?
So yes, to the US, and this is one from Elvis Presley, who said that truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away. Elvis Presley said, truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for a time, but it ain't going away.
It's true. And I usually, whenever I have an argument with someone, and especially around matters surrounding the truth, I usually tell them, for now you can lie. But there are some 2 people you can never lie to. Number 1, you can never lie to God, because God knows the truth.
Yes.
He knows everything. The second person you can't lie to is yourself. No matter how much you lie to yourself that things are okay, for example, or you're on the right direction, for example, hata wewe mwenye deep down I am not in the right direction, I am not okay. Then now there is God. And what you've said also, to other people, you can lie to me, fine.
Yes.
And I might believe your lie. But one day, one time, kwa kweli kujitokeza design nyingine mbaya.
There are some people who use lies to deceit, to make other people look bad. And at the end you realize that ukweli unakujanga unajitokeza.
Yep.
So
na inajitokezeanga at the most unexpected of times.
Be easy. Sometimes when you're trying to push the truth and somebody's like they want to use deceit, they want to lie about you, they're just malicious about you, don't worry. Sometimes don't worry, a day will come that ukweli utajitokeza. And by then it doesn't take so long.
I may usually tell people anyway, the truth will set you free.
True. It does.
Hapa si nilisema juzi, if you know uko na watoto nje ya ndoa, sema leo. Uanze kukasirikiwa mapema.
Yes.
So that the healing process and the forgiving process can start.
Yesterday we talked about facing your challenges head on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anza
mapema.
The truth will do what?
We set you free. And siku moja ukweli utajitokeza.
Hapo sasa.
Yes.
Tuingie katika rgk.co.ke. If you're on your laptop, your tablet, if you're on your computer, yes, kindly log on to rgk.co.ke and let's go together reading the stories or going through the stories that are making headlines. I've made headlines actually in the last couple of hours, and this one is a story that was published 4 minutes ago. Nakwambia huku tunakuanga na breaking news 24/7, yeah? And it's in regards to Rex Masai. So there's a cop who goes by the name of Isaiah Murangiri who denies photos linking him to Rex Masai's case. This is Police Constable Isaiah Murangiri in court on July 16th, 2024. The photo that is shown here is from last year. And a police officer accused of being present at the scene where activist Rex Masai was shot dead during anti-finance bill protests has denied any involvement, telling the court that he was stationed elsewhere and is not the officer captured in the photos presented as evidence. Appearing before the Milimani Law Court on Wednesday during the ongoing inquest into the killing, Police Constable Isaiah Murangiri dismissed photographs allegedly showing him along Uhuru Highway during the June 18th, 2024 protests, saying he had been deployed at the main entrance of the Kenyatta International Convention Center and never left his post. I am not the one. According to me, the pictures bear no resemblance, he told magistrate on Sarigo.
That is not me.
Murangiri said that although he had been issued with tear gas canisters during the deployment, he did not use them as protesters did not reach the KICC gate. He maintained he did not move from the location for the entire day. Okay, and the reason I'm laughing is because this is a very interesting turn of events. So if you look at that page on rgk.co.ke, you'll see this cop and you will remember. Now he says he's not the one. So you will remember a cop that looks like him that was in town, throwing tear gas canisters at peer press members of the press. Yes. And wanafanana.
You know, yesterday I was looking at a video that was showing the proceedings, and I was really surprised. Like how mpaka I remember him being told, do you know that you have a mark just below your yes. Akaambiwa, can you please put your hand on it? Alafu ameweka mkono, ameshika, ameulizwa, can you feel anything? Asema nothing.
Anaulizwa sasa na nani? Na judge ama prosecutor?
Alikuwa anaulizwa kwenye court. Yes, anaulizwa, can you feel anything? And the mark is there and you can see it.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't know, basi watu wanafanana sana. If that is true, basi watu wanafanana. You know, they produced several photos of him, and actually, of purportedly him. Yes. And there was also this photo where there was that guy looking like him with a
firearm.
Yes. I just saw several photos like that guy really looks like him. That is what you can just see.
You know the funny thing is, I have seen incidences where men lie through their teeth. And you've caught this person pants down, and he says, no, it's not me. Na umempata vizuri in the act, na anakuambia walai bilai,
si mimi. Yes.
Na sasa anakuambia hivyo akiendelea kuvaa hiyo trouser. There's another situation that happened somewhere in the Middle East, where there's a very noble person, like was it a businessman or was it a royal, someone of the royal family? And the point is, this particular individual was accused of sexually assaulting a woman, and what he said was he was walking naked and akategwa. He stumbled and fell on this woman that was accusing him of rape. And you know,
so when you fall down, so you wake up. Why do you want to continue staying there?
The entire world was looking, because it was an international breaking story.
Yes.
So everyone was just asking themselves, what are the odds that you'd be having a woman alone in your, it was in his yacht. You could be having a woman alone in your yacht.
And you are naked.
You're both naked.
Yes.
And then any of
something just happens.
Of all the times you trip, that moment you tripped, she was, and then Muka,
you fell on her.
So everyone was just wondering, like, what are the odds?
Quite funny. Anyway,
so in this case, for this police constable, Mr. Murangiri, I'm just wondering, what are the odds that there's someone else within the Nairobi Police Service that munafanana, and on the same day you were both deployed in CBD? Ni venye wewe ulikuanga KICC, yeye akiwa au akikimbiza watu Moi Avenue.
You know, they say in the world there are 7 other people who look like you. People who look exactly like you. Maybe that is one of him. And again, there's something I told you about, maybe, I don't know whether it is our constitution, the rule of law. In our systems, it is mpaka produce enough, sufficient evidence of anything. So if you can be able to go to court and be able to produce evidence na ikataliwe, that is it.
Okay.
Not unless now you go and you go to a higher court and so forth. But there's something I was telling about our constitution. Because for you to be labeled, to be guilty, to be found like you're guilty, there must be that sufficient
evidence.
Ambapo now all of you have agreed this evidence is sufficient
beyond reasonable doubt.
Yes, and relates to this person. That is when now you can be.
So here we are saying that the burden of proof is on who? The ones who accused him.
Yes.
Okay. Wacha tuone. Let's move on to another one. But this one, hii ni ile tunasemanga hii kidogo imekuwa kizungumkuti. So family seeks justice after James Nayo is shot from behind in Naivasha protests. So this is also a story that has been trending for the last couple of hours. The family of James Nayo, a 37-year-old fisherman who died during the Sabasaba protests in Naivasha, is demanding accountability after a postmortem revealed he was shot from the back. The autopsy results confirmed that the bullet pierced through his back and exited through the abdomen, causing severe internal damage and bleeding that led to his death. The postmortem, carried out at the Naivasha Sub-County Hospital mortuary, was led by government pathologist Dr. Titus Ngulungu. He confirmed that Nayo died from his injuries while undergoing treatment on July 7th. Yes. So pathologist wa serikali amesema ya kwamba risasi iliingia kwa mgongo ikatokezea kwa tumbo. Yeah.
It is quite unfortunate that these things are happening in our country, and of course people come and deny.
So CS Murkomen did mention that police are allowed to protect themselves, especially when they feel they're in danger.
Yes.
Kumaanisha maybe watu wanakukujia. Kwa hivyo kumaanisha kama utapiga mtu risasi, inafaa kumpata mbele, sababu huyu mtu anakukujia.
Well, I was speaking about that case whereby we are being told the risasi iliingilia kwa mgongo ikatokea kwa tumbo.
James alikuwa anaangalia sehemu tofauti, kumaanisha labda alikuwa anatoroka. Kelele, chaos or whatever that was happening. Na yule askari chapa risasi. Clearly hakuwa in any danger.
Just like the case that we saw in town, that mask guy. You clearly saw that he was running.
Yeah. So forget even the mask guy. Me, I want to focus on James. The mask guy, we have spoken about him and his story is clear cut. The officer involved was found guilty of murder and he's been sentenced, I think, to 20 years, or was it 25? Yes, huyo yake imeisha. I hope he learns from his mistake.
And others also learn from his mistake. Yes. Actually, all of us as a country.
Sasa huyu askari mwenye alimfiatua James Nayo, huyu ndio niko na shida naye. Yes. Because this one, beyond reasonable doubt, you are not in danger. You just chose to finish to take someone's life rather. Just like that.
Well, if the judicial, as a country, the government takes the route that it has taken to see justice being served, then huyu pia naona kwa katika process.
Now here is the problem. How do they identify this cop?
Hakupatikana.
Other cops, we have seen them on videos. They've been captured on CCTV cameras. Others have been captured by wananchi. Others have been captured by journalists.
Yeah.
Yes, like the cop like Clinzy Barazo alikamatwa na journalist wa Associated Press. Ama ilikuwa ni Reuters. Yeah, the point is alipatikana na press. Sasa huyu mwenye alimuua James nayo nani alimpata?
Well, I know with time.
Ama nani atampata?
With time, I know. You know, in Kenya, what I like right now is that there are some things that you will do. You think you are alone, but kuna macho huku kando. And it's quite. I like it by the way that way, like that. Unaweza kufanya kitu, you think like you are alone, you think like you're hiding, but you are captured somewhere. And that is it. The reason why we should be having a CCTV just all over.
We should be having CCTVs. Businesses also have their own CCTVs. But let's be honest, the cost...
All the streets and every other place.
The cost of setting up and maintaining si rahisi. Kuna wakati sisi tuliweka CCTV mtaani. Ushago.
Yeah.
Then they were infested by wasps. So the wasps built a nest inside the camera. So the camera ikaharibika because now it's no longer moving the way it's supposed to.
Sasa hiyo inakaa muliishi mjini sana. You overstayed without going home or without checking it.
No. Kuna mfanyikazi kule nyumbani. Yes, mwenye anafanyanga maintenance. But whoever thought that wasp zitaenda kujenga nyumba yao kwa kamera.
I think if the country really wanted to do that, like in Mombasa, there's a time they did put those CCTV cameras, especially at the market, that Kongowea market, because of the issues of robbery, nini, all those. Yeah, and it does work. Kwani Kenya we have money, bwana.
I'm not saying
this is something that can be done, and actually even maintenance, it is something that can be done.
Do you right now? Do you
especially on these streets?
How many CCTVs do we have in Nairobi alone?
I know there are many
on every major highway.
Yes, we do have. Yes.
Now, crime happens all the time. Do you ever see those cameras, the footage from those cameras being used as evidence?
No, there are some, but they get used.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
A high-profile case like this one, if we are being honest, we said let's have honest conversations.
Okay.
Wewe ukikajakiwa leo, uende report kwa polisi, they will find that footage. Waseme, ndio ule pale tumeona Wayo alikajakiwa on Moi Avenue at 6 a.m.
Yes.
Yako itapatikana. But when there's an assassination,
or it is something that you want to go against the owner of the cameras,
that footage is never found. Kama hatujaipata mwenye walishoot Jacob Juma, hatujaipata wenye walichukua Msando. How many years now? Yet by then we still had those cameras. Yeah.
So ni kazi ya bure.
So my friend, kamera mtaweka, pesa mtatumia.
Among the reforms that were proposed and are being worked on, walisema kuna hii yenye wanataka kila polisi anaekewa kamera.
Nikuulizaje, Central Police Station ilikuanga na cameras on that day ama ikuwa nazo?
They were there.
Alafu hiyo footage iko wapi?
Of course, claims were that they were.
Thank you. Let's move on.
Okay.
It's not about the cameras. It's about changing a lot of things, including the same system that is supporting, or rather that is in charge of those cameras.
The system. Well, movie still on our website. There's this story about the self-abduction. This is about the Juja MP, George Koimburi. Yesterday, this is what the court issued: arrest warrant for Juja MP George Koimburi. 2 others after they escaped court over charges of faking abduction. The issue of fake abductions. I think this is one of the cases that the government has really used it in so many cases right now as we speak. This one as an example, plus this one of Diangui. So for this one, he has been in hospital for the longest time. Actually, they are saying that he has not recovered.
Right.
Yes.
Who, the MP?
Yes, has never recovered from.
Nimeona picha yake akiwa Karen Hospital.
Yes. He hasn't recovered. There were some claims that somebody was claiming that he lives in hospital nowadays.
Yeah. He hasn't recovered.
He hasn't recovered. I don't know what they gave him that day.
What did his abductors do to him?
Yeah, so I saw him yesterday say that he was given that that allowance until he recovers. That is when now he can be he can go to court. And actually he claimed that he did not see those claiming that there was already a warrant of arrest, and that is why he faked his abduction. He said that he had not seen that warrant. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He had not seen those summons, actually the summons, and whatever warrant, yes.
You know, right now he's enjoying some kind of protection because he's an MP. And I'm not saying that he wasn't abducted, but I'm also not saying that he was abducted. What I'm saying though is that he's enjoying some kind of some freedom here and there because of his position as an MP. That's all I can say for now. Yes. Na ndio maana unajua hataki kusumbua mheshimiwa sana. Hataki kumsumbua sana lakini and actually, you know, this is just this is an allegation, of course. Yeah. Until you prove that he really had abducted himself, that is when now tunaweza sema ako guilty. All the best to him. I hope he recovers. I hope he feels better soon and very soon. Court told Jambo Pay boss offered Sonko daily millions to secure tender. Nakumbuka tuliketi hapa na Mr. Gibore George, the Secretary General of Clinical Officers. Yes. And Mr. Gibore told us, yani hii town unasotanga sababu ndio umetaka kusota. Listen to this story. A police officer has told a Nairobi court that Jambo Pay director Danson Mushemi allegedly tried to bribe former Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko with up to 5 million shillings per day to secure a lucrative county revenue collection contract. Chief Inspector Kipto Kisorio, currently serving as a sub-county police commander in Ulugo, Garissa County, made the revelation on Wednesday while testifying before Milimani Principal Magistrate Charles Ondieki in a defense hearing for Sonko, who is facing a 20 million corruption case. The police officer recounted that on January 2019, while serving in Mtwapa, Kilifi County, he was summoned by the deputy DCIO and introduced to Sonko, who claimed that Mushemi was making repeated visits to his Kanamai residence with intentions to offer a bribe. The former governor said Mushemi was visiting him at his Kanamai residence and he wanted help arresting him if he attempted to bribe him, Kisorio told the court. Now, the story is there on rgk.co.ke. You can go read more about it, but let's talk about 5 million shillings daily. 5 million what? 5 million shillings daily. Nataka tusikize, tuseme hii kitu tena. Nataka uiseme out loud ndio uelewe what we are saying. Can you say 5 million Kenya shillings daily? 5 million Kenya shillings daily. Good. 5 million. Wewe niambie leo. If you can say no to 5 million daily. Forget 5 million once. 5 million daily. Daily. Mkona majaribu sana, mkona temptations. Sikwambia ati Patricia akishika hii 5 million unisaidie kupata hii tenda. 5 million daily. Nitakuwa nakupa 5 daily. Na Mike Sonko akasema no. Akasema arrest this guy. Mimi niko na swali hapa. Who is fooling who? Assuming you are no. Okay, let me just use an example. Like assuming you are Mike Sonko, right? Ungekata? Of course, ungekata. Me, I'm a leader of integrity. I will say no to 5 million shillings daily. Say no to corruption. Yes. How much does a governor earn? Say no to 5 million daily. Yes, I'm saying no right now, not tomorrow. I'm saying now. Live. Oh, for now. No, I'm saying live size. Okay, yeah. I'm saying no to 5 million shillings daily. Okay. Bribe, that is. Yes. Any other kind of money you're giving me, I'll take. But as a bribe, I won't take. Yeah. Sir, if you give me as a gift, 5 million shillings daily. I give you the 5 million as tea. I'll take. Enda ukakunywe chai. Ndugu yangu, every other day, shika 5 million, enda kunywe chai. How much does a governor make? Yeah. Let's just do a very quick, I think it's about 1 million shillings. Yeah. So if I do a quick Google search, so governor wa wapi? Governor of in Kenya, where is it? In Kenya. Alafu niangalie salary. Yes. So these guys make a gross monthly salary of 957,000. Yes, this is according to the financial years of 2024 and 2025. That is how much a governor makes. Then, there's a lot of things that come in, like allowances, the per diems. Akikuja Nairobi, wakienda benchmark in Dubai. That's why these guys like traveling a lot. So anyway, long story short, these guys make at least 957,000 a month. So 5 million daily, will that entice him?
Let us just say 1 million.
Yes.
Let's say they are doing 1 million a month. And so 5 million in a day. So why are you forcing the former to accept the 5 million? Why are you forcing?
I'm not forcing him. I'm just asking.
If he refused, he refused.
I'm asking any governor in Kenya right now. Any governor. From Mwavinya Ndeti to our very own Sakaja Johnson.
Yes.
Malombe in Kitui. I am just asking, would they say no to 5 million shillings daily for a tender? And this is just one case that has been exposed by this legal process. You tell me how much the governor is offered on a daily basis by different business people.
Wow.
Mtu anakuja nakwambia manze Joe governor bana, mheshimiwa, your excellency, nipatie tenda ya takataka hapa bana. Shika hii nitakuwa nakupatia 5 million daily. Kuna of course wenye wanakuja na tupesa tudogo, namwambia mimi nakupatianga 100,000 shillings daily. Anamwambia wewe unajua fulani amenipatia 5 million daily, wewe unataka kunipatia 100,000. Bwana Burudi, go think about what you're telling me.
You will understand the reason why leaders will do just anything
to get these
positions. Yeah, because now look at all those good opportunities. Let me call them opportunities in quotes.
Call them evil opportunities.
Yeah, opportunities in quotes. That's why I put the quotes. Yes. Already means it's questionable. Yeah, yeah. So it's quite unfortunate that in our country, and this is through the systems.
Right.
Yeah, this is through the systems.
Before we do the traffic, I just want to point out that there's a time President Mnangagwa, kuna aide wake alikuwa exposed. I think either by BBC or by Doshuvele, yeah? This guy was, I don't know whether he's still the PA to the president, but he was asking for up to $200,000 just for you to have an audience with the president. $200,000. That's roughly, in Kenyan money, that's roughly 24 million. Yeah, if the dollar right now is about what, 130, so that's about 26 million.
Wow.
Kenya shillings, just to give you an audience with the president. Yes. Na hiyo pesa ni yake tu. Kuna yenye sasa ukishaenda kuona because you're going to see the president to strike a deal. Once you strike that deal, of course kuna zenye we are assuming. Kuna zenye pia unaonanga huo mdosi, huo mkubwa, huyo prezo. Because kama president anakupatia tenda,
pia anakunywa chai.
Kama prezo anakupatia tenda ya 20 billion for example. What is stopping? Why wouldn't you want to appreciate him? You know, here in Africa we have a lot of appreciation. Ukinipatia ka gig na kupatia ka commission.
Thank you so much.
Zile za Patricia umenijenga sana. Out of this 100,000, shika 1,000 yako 5. Yes. In Africa, it's something.
It's something that we want to normalize. By the way,
we call it commission.
We want to normalize, but actually, when it comes to finance, when it comes to accounting, when it comes to the principles of finance and accounting, you realize that is hiyo tunaiweka katika class ya fraud and whatever.
Yes. So anyway, long story short, so if just seeing the PA to the president is 26 million, how many people come to this guy just asking for an audience because of course you won't call the president directly. Yes, you call the PA, then the PA organizes. Kuna watu, actually there are very many people you call before you reach the president.
Mbuvi,
mimi naweza taka kuwa PA.
Mbuvi, you're going to mess up people's mood as they're just starting their day, though.
You know what? Let's do the traffic. So if someone offers you 5 million daily, are you going to say no? That's the question we're asking this morning before we get into the newspaper. But looking at the roads of Nairobi, it's not looking bad. Mombasa Road, kuna kale ka stretch tulisema kana kwanga na shida, but it looks like people have adopted to this particular stretch because the traffic right now is looking yellow, which means there's traffic but it's moving. Things will only get worse when it starts changing color to red, but the rest of Mombasa Road is not bad. Kuna kako tu sawa, but it's 6:35 a.m. We don't expect much traffic at this particular hour as far as the road are concerned. Southern Bypass, I can see it's looking all green. That means that there are vehicles there, but they are moving quite fast, so there is zero delay as far as that is concerned. Let me see where else. Jogoo Road, kuna shida pale Makadara. Pale mkikaribia Makadara mkielekea sehemu za town, stretching all the way to Njiwa Road, a little bit of traffic there, but you are moving nonetheless.
Ngong Road, the usual places, Junction, Prestige, Community towards town. You go to Thika Road, the usual places by the way, kuanzia pale Roysambu, ukija ukifika KCA, around KCA, then as you get to town through Ngara, those are the places that we usually see traffic, and I see bado, but things are moving. You go to Kariako roundabout, that is another place where we witnessing a lot of traffic, and especially ikienda kufika saa moja, but for now we have traffic, but it is moving. We go all the way to Mombasa. Mombasa, things quite okay, that is especially at the usual traffic areas, kwanzia VOK, Bombululu, then Lights Kengeleni, then of course kule ferry, naona kila kitu kiko shwari, 4 ferries operating and things quite okay.
All right, so that's the traffic update for now. Do stand by the next 1 hour. We'll give you more updates.
Traffic on Radio Generation.
Wakati wa kuingia kwenye magazeti.
Before we get to the newspaper,
yes,
there's this one story still on our website.
All right.
The story about this Alliance Girls High School teacher who has been implicated in the case of sexual misconduct has been sent for a 30-day compulsory leave, says TSC.
Okay.
Sijui kama ulisoma wakati wako walimu walikuwa wanakuwa na affairs with students.
In a boys school you hardly hear those things. Yeah. But across the generation, of course, nilikuwa nasikia hizo stories from my comrades from girls schools. However, it was more about them having a crush on a teacher, but si mwalimu kwa kati.
Si mwalimu kwamba
na kama ilikuwa inafanyika, of course, sisemi ilikuwa inafanyika, to be honest, I never heard of those stories. But we used to see girls getting pregnant, and some of the alleged fathers of the children were teachers.
Yeah, you know, sometimes I get surprised when you hear your friends who already have cleared from 4, like them telling you that, you know, I had an affair with my teacher when I was in high school. Then I'm like, what? Wait a minute. You are okay, this is a male student, and saying that you had an affair, used to have an affair with your female teacher, and you were in high school.
Nairobi school, to be honest, sikuwaisikia. Na kama ilifanyika, then wenye walifanya walificha vizuri sana.
That is Nairobi school, but it is something that happens. I think it is high time also, hata pia sisi wazazi, do not assume it is the girls who are getting these things, who are getting these challenges in schools. Talk to your male children also.
Your boys.
Yes, your boys. Weird things are happening, and again we also push for TSC. Actually tunataka tuone justice being served. Tunataka tuone these people being punished such that they just serve as an example. I think ni vitu zimekuwa zikifanyika by the way. And this one has been you know, this has been in the spotlight because of its nature, like hii ni kitu watu wamekuwa wakiongea for the longest time.
Right.
Yes.
Let's just hope that they get to the bottom of that situation with Alliance Girls, because Alliance Girls, very good school, prominent, have been performing very well. We don't want to see things going negative. Yeah. All right. So let's get into the newspaper right now. I will start with the Standard newspaper. Executives lapdog. Born out of the 2007-2008 bloodshed to curb hate-fueled violence, the National Cohesion and Integration Commission now faces accusations of selective justice. As President William Ruto's allies fan ethnic tensions, the commission is seen as barking at dissenters, but muting itself when power peddles hate. Observers say it's no longer just asleep at the wheel, it may be complicit. Well, of course, I will ask a lot of questions in regards to this. Where have they been when a lot of hate is being spewed online, and a lot of leaders are speaking hatefully? Yeah. Kuna wakati MP Farah Maalim aliongea vibaya sana, akasema ingalikuwa yeye angekuwa in charge, wangekuwa tungekuwa tunazika watu 500 daily. You know, so I never saw NCIC say anything in regards to that. If they did, maybe Linipita. I also we've seen other leaders recently, speak along ethnic lines. Like there's that MP from Pokot, I think it was, saying that they will send Pokot youth to come and deal with protesters in Nairobi.
Yeah.
NCIC also very quiet on that. So what's the deal? Let me just read the next up here.
And in any case, if they've really been following into these issues, I think they should be put public. Yeah, because the way such statements are being done publicly, we also want to see a push for responsibility and accountability being done publicly.
Now we are paying these people salaries. Let me tell you who we are paying salaries here. So we have Wamboi Nyutu, the vice chairperson. Philip Okundi, commissioner. Philip Okundi is a former journalist. Sam Kona is a commissioner as well. Kuna Harrison Kariuki, commission secretary. Abdulaziz Farah, commissioner. We have Dorcas Kedogo, a commissioner as well. Danvas Makori, also a commissioner. So NCIC wamekuwa kitulia while the country is just spewing hatred from left to right. Maswali mengi hapo. How officials swindled 2.2 billion from students' health scheme. Now, a special audit has exposed how ineligible learners benefited from the government's Eduafia medical cover, and officials made suspect remittances amounting to 2.2 billion to the defunct NHIF. This story is on page 8. When NHIF, by the way, was decommissioned, let me call it that, it was decommissioned with 90 billion in its accounts, and that money no one knows where it went to. NHF venye walizima hivi ilizimwa na 90 billion. Yeah.
And we are yet still hearing of hospitals ambao bado wanadai.
Yes.
Bado wanadai
malipo kutoka NHIF. Sasa kuna story hapo ya pesa za wanafunzi.
Let me tell you that the Ministry of Health, I'm telling you, if there is a ministry that has always been having a lot of scandals, left, right, center,
ni ya health, ya afya.
Ministry ya health. Why do people want to take drugs money? Yeah?
This is not even drugs, it's about insurance.
Health. Actually, it's not about just health, people's health. Why do people play around with people's health?
Good question. Page 2. Masai Mara bags world record for wildlife migration. The world-renowned Masai Mara National Reserve has received global recognition from the World Book of Records. The United Kingdom has officially certified the reserve as the home of the world's greatest annual terrestrial wildlife migration. The milestone marks a major achievement for Kenya's conservation and tourism sectors. Now, in a letter dated July 10th, 2025, World Book of Records President Santosh Shukla informed Narok Governor Patrick Olen Tutu of the reserve's inclusion in the record books, citing its extraordinary ecological role and global significance. Yeah. So Masai Mara, kama hujafika huko umeenda Masai Mara?
Sijafika, but I'm planning to go during this migration, wild-beast migration. Yes.
HIV prevention jab set for rollout next year as key groups hail relief. So this dawa inajulikana kama lenacapavir. Now, a rather new yearly HIV injection raises hope for pill-weary patients.
Wow. You know, I like that. Milestone. Pali tumefikia in terms in the fight of
against HIV.
Yes, HIV and AIDS.
Discordant couples and sex workers hail game changer, but cost access hurdles loom. Now, kuna mtu alikuwa nasema and this has been an ongoing rumor. Me, I want to call it a conspiracy.
Yes.
That dawa ya HIV ilipatikana kitambo sana. But kuna watu tu wamekuwa kikalia. Do you know how much money pharmaceuticals make from HIV drugs?
A lot.
If today we were to find a cure for HIV, do you know there's an entire pharmaceutical the network department or whatever you want to call
that's
it,
gonna shut down,
that will just disappear. Yes.
Well, I want to look at it from the perspective. I'm not a medic. I've not done anything to do with medicine, but I'm want to look at it from the perspective of this is a viral thing, yeah?
Yes.
And from what we know, from what we've learned in school, we know that viruses do not have a cure.
They don't.
They do not have a cure. So if somebody comes and says that we've gotten a cure, because I tend to believe that it's because these viruses keep on mutating. Yeah. Today they'll take this form. Tomorrow they take. So whatever a component that you've made, you want to counter this. Sometimes they also become resistant, and then they mutate. They change the what do you call it? Oh, okay. We used to call it the DNA. Yeah, the composition.
Right.
So saying that kulikuwa na kumedawa imepatikana kidogo, it's a challenge, but well, then I like
it's
this.
Not necessarily ati kupata dawa per se, but let me put it into context like this. COVID ilitokezea 19.
Yeah.
By 2020 we had a vaccine.
Ilikuwa imeisha.
We had a vaccine. Ilikuwa imeisha. Hata siku hizi kuna COVID.
Okay, yeah, iko.
A few cases here and there,
yes,
right?
I'm saying that ile sana ile ilikuwa inafanya watu.
But the point is tulipata vaccine ya COVID in how long? In a year. Malaria, we have drugs for malaria. Readily available right now. You can literally walk to any chemist, utapata anti-malarial drugs, and you will even find prophylaxis za malaria. Right? But for a very long time, HIV, which has been there for decades.
It has been there for the longest time, actually.
Decades.
Yes.
Hawajaipata cure. Hawajaipata prevention. Tunakuanga tuna PrEP na kuna PEP. Do you know about PrEP and PEP?
Yeah.
PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis, and then PEP is post-exposure prophylaxis.
Yeah.
That means for the pre, if you know you're going to engage in intercourse, you take it just in case the person you're going to sleep with has HIV. Or sometimes you can even take it very well knowing that your partner has it, so that you can prevent the chances of you getting it. Yeah. Right? Post-exposure sana sana inakwanga rape victims, or when you have found out that your partner has been having HIV and you didn't know that he had it or she had it, so you take the PEP. Ndio ifanye nini? Ndio at least reduce your chances of getting this disease. Yeah. However, let's also give flowers where they are deserved, because again, kuna ARVs, good thing, because nowadays actually patients are they have non-detectable levels of the virus. Yeah. Like literally, umekuwa ukitumia dawa yako vizuri, ukienda hospitali ukipimwa, they can't find a single virus.
The viral,
iko lakini ni venye tu, yani the load is
too small,
very low. Yes. Yeah. So it's not detectable. So hata ukienda ufanye HIV test na umekuwa ukichukua your ARVs vizuri, chances are it will not detect the HIV virus. So a lot of strides have been made in the HIV sector. Yeah. Let me call it sector. In the HIV sector, which is a good thing. People are not dying as they used to die back in the day. But it doesn't take away from the fact that there are a lot of questions. Of course, there are conspiracy theories out there about HIV.
So I want to understand that this vaccine, it's about it's a pre-exposure.
So
right?
this vaccine, yes, it's
or it is now for those who are already infected.
It is for all groups, whether you have HIV or you don't have HIV. Yes. So tumesikia hata sex workers wamesema it's a good thing. Yeah. They can use it, especially this one sana sana, a vaccine is for those who do not have HIV. Yes. So a vaccine kama hauna, ndio maana hata COVID ilikuanga unadungwa before ufanye nini, before you're exposed to the virus. Yes. So it's a good thing. Let's just say that kudungwa twice a year though.
It's better.
It's better than getting the disease itself, and having to take ARVs for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it is better. Yeah, it's quite better. Well, the daily newspaper, this is what it said. The biggest story, by the way, kuna nafasi hapa za kazi. We are talking of 6 National Assembly seats, 1 senatorial post, and 15 member of county assembly vacancies that are up for grab. By-elections test for Ruto, Raila, Gachagua. The stage is set for a supremacy contest pitting Kenyan's political bigwigs, President Ruto and ODM Chief Odiga on one side against the former DP Gachagua and the united opposition on the other in upcoming mini polls for 22 electoral positions whose outcomes could trigger shifts and new alliances ahead of 2027 general elections.
Yeah, yesterday I think the guests that we had here, specifically Professor Gola, did say that this is going to be a litmus test for all the leaders in the country, and especially the principals, the party leaders, the bigwigs, the party leaders akina Martha, Matiangi pia maybe anataka kuona akisupport mtu in a certain area. Huyo mtu akishinda ni kumaanisha my support meant something, so that means I have some influence. Wiper by Kalonzo, of course, will front a couple of candidates in these particular positions, so that he can also gauge whether Wiper is still as popular as he left it in 2022. Someone else obviously who's going to be looking to front people
is Gachagua,
DCP party. Waone kama watafanya nini.
And actually, now that it is a new party, would want to see
waone popularity of DCP
iko namna gani,
especially kwa stronghold zake pale Murima, Mount Kenya region. So let's see how that works out. And someone else who's probably going to support people and see his influence, David Maraga, former CJ. He's a new kid on the block.
We want to see what happens.
Although he's 74 years, but he's a new kid on the block. So wacha tuone kama support yake means anything to the candidates that he might end up supporting come these by-elections.
Ujue sasa, if today the leaders, the people that you are supporting, they lose, the candidates that you are supporting, they lose the election, the by-elections, it points to warning political influence. Atakiwa urudi tena kwa drawing board, uanze kuweka your strategies right again.
Ama utoke tu kabisa na usupport mtu mwingine na useme wase nimeona you guys are not ready for me. In that case, I hereby support flani and you move along with it.
I want to see the influence of these parties, and especially the newly formed parties. I would like to see what happens. Well, on other news, it's on page 12. That is why Kenyans are paying more for fuel. A state opts not to tap fuel subsidy, leading to highest price hike in 2 years. Tulikuwa tunazungumzia masuala ya mafuta pale jana.
I'm inclined to go with what Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro said. Yes. He said that our taxes and our levies have already been securitized. That is the word that he used. That means that the government has used them as collateral in advance. If at all what he said is true, that means that the fuel levy we are paying today, ilishachukuliwa loan against, and that is why we are being taxed to pay that loan back. And according to Nyoro, he says that loan is not in the government books. So it is in whose books? Whose books? Nani yako na hiyo? Nani anajua hiyo 175 billion ilichukuliwa wapi, aje sangapi na nani?
And I saw yesterday that the CS trying to explain, and he was so mad about this MP. Sema unasema vitu vya uongo. We have not touched anything.
Mimi I'm inclined again to believe Nyoro.
What Nyoro was saying.
But however, I want him to come with receipts. Atuambie loan ilichukuliwa kwa country gani? Bank gani?
Nataka receipts.
Tunataka receipts. Yes. Right now I'm giving him benefit of doubt.
You're giving him that burden of proof.
Yes. Atupatie, atuambie, listen. So here is the evidence. Ninajua hii hii loan ilichukuliwa, for example, kama ni Croatia. Ilichukuliwa Croatia, Bank of Croatia. Yes. Na ilipatiwa say CS Mbadi. Ndio alienda mpaka kwa sign hii deal. Na atuoneshe CS Mbadi went to Croatia between these dates and these dates. And this is when he signed for the loan. Na atuoneshe hiyo pesa iliingia kwa bank gani. So that we can start making an audit for ourselves as Kenyans. This is information that is very critical, especially going to 2027.
Actually, it is. It is quite critical.
So we can know who's selling our country and who has got the best interests.
And again, what if he doesn't have that proof, as you may call it, legitimate and sufficient?
Then I guess
that will be a rumor.
I guess then we will need an apology as Kenyans, because you cannot give us this. This is very critical and heavy information. Ni kama mimi nikuje nikuambie leo that your partner is doing something and I have no evidence. You see, already nishaanza kukugonganisha na mtu wako. Nishaanza na kufanya feel a certain way towards the person that you care, you love.
Unaweza kuwa ulimuona but you didn't take a photo Unaweza kuwa
Then-
ulimuona, but you
then
did
if
not
I don't
know
have
that
evidence,
photo. Yes.
then if I don't have evidence, I shut up.
But do you know that your partner will continue suffering your cheating behavior just because that person cannot maybe produce that evidence in a manner that you would like to buy it?
No. Let me tell you something. It's not good to pelt rumors. Yes. If you don't have evidence, na watu wako tu sawa, nyamaza. Ile siku utapata evidence, kuja mwambie, sasa kuna kitu nimekuwa nikiona for a very long time. Hata last year nilikuwa naiona ni venye sikuwa na evidence. But here's the evidence.
Saizi niko
This
na
is what
evidence.
your partner has been doing.
So you are putting the burden on
Of proof.
yes
On Kiharu MP.
yes
Ndindi
Ndindi Nyoro. So Kenyans are eager to see that proof, that
Yeah.
evidence that
The way he
whatever
found
you're
out.
claiming is true.
The way he found out, because I'm sure there's a way he found out. If indeed it is true, the way he found out, he should tell us that this is the way I found out. Kama alipatiwa inside information by someone on the inside, I'm hoping that it wasn't just a random whistleblower. Huyo whistleblower akuje na evidence. Hata kama hatutamjua, yeah, because we wouldn't want his life or her life to be in danger. But kama whistleblower ako na evidence, akuja tupatie receipt hivi, aseme ndio hizi makaratasi, pesa ndio hii ilitoka hapa, ikiingia kwa account ilisainiwa na fulani.
Yeah.
Yes, that is the only way this country will move forward.
Yeah, so as of yesterday, the Treasury CS fails to disclose whether the petroleum development levy kit has been depleted. Yeah, we saw it yesterday. So Kenya hii tunaendelea kuhakikisha kwamba tunasukuma for good governance and accountability in everything that our leaders are doing.
It is what it is.
So the movie, the other day there's an outbreak of a certain mysterious illness in Mombasa where people are claiming that if you contract this disease, according to them, that illness, unaanza kuvimba mwili, unapata you get patches that are pus filled, and it has led to death of several Mombasa residents.
Is it mpox?
Okay, they said that they cannot conclude that this is mpox, and as of yesterday, I know tests are being done by KEMRI. Maybe they'll be able to establish what kind of a illness is this.
Okay.
Because people in that area, especially Magongo, they are so much afraid, and of course, it is a concern for the whole country at large. Yes.
All right. We hope that they get to the bottom of that. Itakuwa ni noma sana kama hatujui nini kinasumbua wa Kenya wetu sehemu za Mombasa kule. So,
Okay,
as you open the Star, what is on the front page of the Star?
Yeah, on the front page, I'm seeing a photo of the Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And this is what it says. ODM starts 27 plan as Raila weighs options. We are talking of 2027 plan as Raila weighs options. Story on pages 4 and 5 of the Star newspaper. Inner circle split. Some want him to support Ruto. Others would want him to go on the opposition side.
So they
And
want him
actually
to...
wengine wanataka aende mpaka kwa ballot.
Sasa wenye wanamwambia ende kwa ballot, mbona wanamuenjoy?
Why? Why do you think they are enjoying him?
I've said it here before. I've said it here before. Rao anafaa sahi asipatiwe heavy duties. Hii historia kukimbia around the country akikampaign si kwa ubaya. Mimi namuheshimu. Yeah. Of course, I have my own personal opinions about him, but this one I'm just advising as a Kenyan who would see my grandfather or my father in his position. Mimi naweza mwambia tu atulie. Jamaa amezeeka na huo ni ukweli. So kwa sasa, let him remain the kingmaker he is, and he has excelled in that, and he's doing perfectly well in that. So what he should do, in my opinion, he should just relax and support someone in the next in the next election of 2027. Anaweza choose any of his lieutenants to be a flag bearer. Tuko naye Orengo pale, kuna Sifuna pale, and he can actually make them as great as he is, and if he wanted.
Yeah, and actually he can still work for the people. Awe ameingia kwenye elections or not, like we have always witnessed, and somebody said whether Baba vice
or not,
just know that if he wants,
he will be in government.
Yeah, he can still be in that government.
Yeah. So right now, I think he would serve the country better by proposing someone. Yes. By supporting someone to actually be on the ballot.
Whoever wins.
Yeah.
What if he supports somebody and doesn't win? And again now
it is the nature of competition.
Same issues zenye tumekuwa tukiona zianze tena.
Listen, you get into a marathon hoping to win.
You will win,
but also be ready to not win.
You have a fallback plan.
Unaweza kuwa na number 2, unaweza kuwa number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hata unaweza ni mara ngapi Eliud ameingia kwa marathon na hata akatoka. Kuna juzi alitoka last year I think it was. Alitoka halfway. Yeah. Alichoka. And it's normal. But it doesn't take away from the fact that Eliud Kipchoge is a world champion and a record champion and a record breaker. Faith Kipyegon juzi amejaribu kukimbia 4 minutes 1.6 kilometers. She didn't make it. She did it in 4 minutes and a few seconds on top. It doesn't make her any less of a champion.
Sure.
She's a champion because no woman has achieved what she has achieved on the track. So, pia no man has achieved what Rao has achieved in politics. Not even the people
in Kenya.
Yes, not even the people who've been president. Rao has achieved more in terms of just being an opposition leader than any other opposition leader we know.
Okay.
And he has excelled at it and people will love him for that.
Fair enough.
Watu
wasimpatie pressure. Wasimpatie mheshimiwa pressure.
Wakati wakiingia kwenye news sasa. So do stand by. Winnie Maganga is coming through. Then when we return, we shall be introducing our guest for our breakfast conversation.
The sound is fine, pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. The government is set to begin issuing national identity cards within 3 days in marginalized counties through the use of mobile registration machines, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has announced. Speaking on Wednesday during a visit to Lodwar, Murkomen said the machines, called mobile live capture units, are portable, battery-powered devices that electronically capture the biometric data of applicants. The initiative aims to address long-standing delays in ID registration in areas where residents face barriers such as poor infrastructure and insecurity. He revealed that the pilot phase is currently underway in Turkana County, where over 400,000 adults above 18 years still lack identity cards.
Yenye tumesema tu ni msipatie mtu foreign ID. Na sisi tumeweka intelligence kila mahali kuhakikisha hakuna ID itapewa mtu wa nje. Lakini watu Turkana ambao wamekuwa marginalized kwa miaka mingi mpaka watu wamesema wacha ID ipotee. Hii ndio mwaka ya kurudishia kila mtu ID yake na kusawasisha kila mtu apate ID kwa sehemu zote. So that is why it's mobile. We don't need them to come to town. Kuna wengine hata wanaogopa, walifanya makosa 10 years ago. Bado wanafikiria polisi wanamtafuta, amejificha kwa msituni. Tunapelekea ID penye yako, anaenda kujisajili na tunapatia wewe chief urudishie yeye. Mwambie umesamehewa, sasa rudi uendelee na kazi ya kwenda mbele.
Meanwhile, the CS has explained the delay in confirming the exact number of people killed in February in Todonyang attack in Turkana County. He attributed the delay to difficulties in recovering bodies and verifying victims. Murkomen said the verification process is still underway, as some of the victims are believed to have drowned in Lake Turkana during the cross-border assault by suspected militants from neighboring Ethiopia.
On Todonyang issue, remember there is still pending verification of the exact numbers, and partly because people who are suspected to have lost their lives inside the lake. So in the absence of finding the bodies, it's become very difficult to verify the exact numbers and say with the utmost certainty that this is the number of people.
A section of residents in Wajir County have protested over the mysterious disappearance of a Huduma Center manager who's also an assistant county commissioner. Hussein Abdurrahman Mohammed is said to have vanished on July 8th under mysterious circumstances. His family has filed a court petition through lawyer Dunstan Omari urging the state to produce him dead or alive. Protesters say the silence from authorities is unacceptable and fear he may be held incommunicado.
The government has machineries and way to trace. We need our brothers whereabouts, whether he's alive or dead. We need to see his brothers from the government. We have no other places to take our information. It is only the office of the government we come. His chairman, Banadibit County Commissioner, and his SSC can trace and tell us why. As SSC is missing and his whereabouts is not known for almost 8 days. We are worried. We have not slept for the last 1 week. We have that painful thing. That's why you see the people have gathered today and yet.
The Nyayo National Stadium has now been officially handed over to the local organizing committee ahead of the African Nations Championship. According to Sports CS Salim Mvurya, who spoke during the handover in Nairobi, the symbolic and strategic milestone signals Kenya's readiness for the continental tournament set to kick off from the 2nd of August to 30th of the same month. The handover follows extensive refurbishment carried out in accordance with CAF's directives, including improvements to the pitch, seating, lighting, changing rooms and security infrastructure.
CHAN as a sporting activity is a catalyst to our economic ecosystem, and therefore we are looking forward to a very beneficial season, a season where we will demonstrate talent, a season where we will also inspire the local tourism and international tourism, a season where many of our economic enablers will be inspired, and therefore it will be important that as Kenyans we reclaim our profile in continental and global football.
The U.S. has deported 5 people who it described as criminal illegal aliens to the South African Kingdom of Eswatini. U.S. Homeland Security Department Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin said in an online post that on board the flight were 5 deportees from Vietnam, Jamaica, Laos, Cuba and Yemen who have been convicted of crimes ranging from child rape to murder. Eswatini, the last absolute monarchy in Africa, said it acknowledged widespread concern within the country regarding the deportations. And that's the Truth on Radio Generation. Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga.
In the beginning, there was morning radio.
I've never seen anything like this.
But now there is Radio Generations, the People's Breakfast. Curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey.
You got it locked.
Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights. Radio Generation.
Yes, indeed. Welcome. My name is Mungala Mbuvi. The time right now is 8 minutes past 7 o'clock. Salamu ziwafikie wote wale ambao wame tuned in this particular morning. Thank you so much. I can see a couple of you have tuned in. We shall be giving you shoutouts as the show continues. Dennis Masinde, habari. Good morning. Kuna jamaa umesema hapo haizi ngojea Ruben Kigame.
Anaitwa David. Yeah, David Kalani.
David Kalani.
Yes.
Aya, salamu zimfikie pia David Kalani.
Namuona mwingine anaitwa Justus Katimu. Saying that they are tuned in.
Yes. Good for them and good for us as well. So let's get back to the conversation. You're listening to us on 88.8 in Nairobi. Garissa, it is 89.5. Lamu, 92.6. Malindi, 92.1. And of course, Mombasa, we thank you for being on 90.7.
If you want to tune on our social media pages, actually on Twitter, X, we are live. You can follow us at Radio Gen KE. Same applies to our Instagram, TikTok, and even on our YouTube. Then on Facebook, get us at Radio Generation Kenya. There we are also live. And even on our website, Radio Gen KE. We are also live there.
All right, so we are expecting to have our guest this particular morning, Honorable Jeremiah Kioni. I hope he's on his way. I really hope. Situfanye kama last time.
Well, okay, yeah.
As you get stuck in traffic tena.
Buvi, as we
Yeah.
continue, yesterday I saw the president inspecting the Kasarani stadium
All right.
for the kickoff of the kickoff venue for the CHAN. And of course, there was also the CS Salim Vuria,
Yes.
that is CS Sports, and the CHAN local organizing committee chairman Nicholas Musonye, the National Assembly Sports Committee, yes, and chairperson Dan Wanyama, of course, the president, and Major Daniel Makana, Defense CS Soipan Tuya, and Sports PS Elijah Mwangi inspecting the Moi Stadium Kasarani in Nairobi yesterday. Naona pale uwanja yetu basi iko sawa.
I saw photos and videos of the place. It looks really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looks quite good. I don't know whether you've also seen the Talanta Stadium, Talanta Stadium that is along Ngong Road. Have you been there?
I've not been there physically, but again, I've seen photos. The or what are they called? The works that have been ongoing as well, Niliziona. And I must say that I'm proud of our sports facilities as of today.
As of today, yes.
As of today. Yeah, I'm proud.
Yeah, so
And I hope they remain that way even after CHAN. They remain that way for years to come. See, after CHAN sasa tuziache tena zikuwe dilapidated, zikae ni kama zinakwanga za Game of Thrones. Itakaa
right now, by the way, uwanja zetu zinakaa poa. Criticism aside,
Yes.
let's appreciate when something is good. Well, we do not know the standards. Me and you, I know we are not specialists in maswala ya stadiums.
But when I watch football matches,
we can see,
when I watch football matches, especially those ones in South Africa, our neighboring Tanzania and Uganda, hapana.
Well, there's what we see, and there are so many other issues za chini ya maji zenye sisi atujui. What we are interested with for now, now that we are preparing for the games,
Yes.
is the status of the stadiums.
Saizi iko sawa.
Are we ready?
Saizi iko
Yes,
sawa.
and again, Kenyans have been urged, by the way, to maintain discipline.
Yes, indeed.
Maintain discipline.
CS Murkomen said that we should be on our best behavior for this period of CHAN. After that, we go back to our hooliganism.
No. Let us just be good. Kuanzia sasa tuko tu just
till the
good
end of
people.
time.
Yeah. Why
sawa.
should we just pretend because we are seeing wageni around? Yeah. And of course, I know in terms of business, kuna business zitafanya vizuri sana, especially the tourism. Yeah. Hotel, they will do quite good. There's also this other booming business, the Airbnb.
So basically the entire hospitality industry.
Yeah, kuna Airbnb. By the way, people used to look down upon it, but enough pesa sana ndugu yangu. I don't know whether you have ever done that business before.
No, I haven't. No.
I have several colleagues who are doing such kind of a business, and it's quite, sometimes it does well, and especially towards the holidays, it does quite well. And there is a time I remember the hotel industry, especially in Mombasa, they were really complaining about the competition that they are getting from these Airbnbs. Yeah, because of they were not so much regulated, and they felt like because of being non-regulated, it is affecting them. Because of course, there are some fee they pay, there are a lot of requirements, and therefore they felt like wakienda kucharge, anaenda kucharge pale, they'll put all those costs in the prices that they are offering. Then na wewe mtu wa B&B, kazi yako tu ni umetafuta nyumba, you pay rent, umelipia the other things, and that is it. Yeah. So that is why now the prices are a bit different.
Well, it's difficult to regulate Airbnb because now how will you know that ile nyumba ni B&B, ile ni ya mwenyewe binafsi, ile hotel utajua ni hotel because imeandikwa vizuri sana, ile ni Nyali Beach Hotel, and there's nothing you can do about it.
If you want to go and check the licenses, you want to collect levies and fees.
They pay different licenses, including tourist licenses. They pay
a lot, actually.
They pay MCSK. There are a lot of things they do.
A lot of, but you
B&B hakuna hiyo kitu wanafanya.
Kwa hapa aulipi baswala ya MCSK. You are not paying the fees. You are not paying any license. You're not paying
zero taxes.
But I think there was a call also to regulate such kind of a business, and especially that time when we were experiencing a lot of killings in those Airbnbs. Do you remember then?
Yeah.
So
early last year,
I don't know where
the year before
hiyo story ilifikia, pengine nitachunguza zaidi niweze kuelewa.
All right, so Kenya off track on hunger goals. This is on page 3 of the Standard newspaper. Experts say country still faces hunger threat despite massive investment in agricultural inputs. A fourth regional food security review shows the country failing on key benchmarks. Yeah, so you can read this story on page 3 of the Standard newspaper. Tukiangalia pale bado pia kuna Nyandarua police bullet killed musician. Post-mortem examination has conferred that Sebastian Omenda, an emerging musician from Nyandarua, died from excessive bleeding after being shot by police during the Sabasaba Day protests. Pathologist Titus Ngulungu said that the bullet pierced Omenda's skin and ribs, causing significant blood loss that ultimately led to his death. Nakuru, a cop to face trial over shooting. Now the state has lined up at least 4 key witnesses to testify against the police officer accused of fatally shooting a civilian in London Estate, Nakuru County on June 9th, 2025. Fantas Njeru, the main suspect, was among 10 police officers who engaged with residents during a protest. He is alleged to have shot and killed Daniel Mwangi as police dispersed residents protesting against alleged harassment by law enforcement officers. The hearing is scheduled to begin on October 23rd. You remember when CS Murkomen said that he will protect cops?
Sure.
Huh? Now cops are, I hope they are seeing these stories. Na wajue ya kwamba wako peke yao. Wako peke yao. Because if Murkomen really felt the need to protect these cops, right now he should be defending this Nakuru cop. Yeah.
You know, somebody came here, a guest came here and really said that the police officers need to understand, and they need to understand where they should be getting their command from. According to the constitution, according to the rule of law.
It is from IG Kenya.
Yeah, they need to understand where they are supposed to be getting. And again, remember, this administration, of course, kuna time itafika, it will get out of the government.
Yes.
Then you'll be held responsible, accountable, alone. The CS will not be there to defend you.
Yes.
It's to say that it is me who said now they should shoot and kill. He will not be there. Probably the president will also still not be there.
Afande Hiram actually ilikuja hapa kwa studio na akasema, my friend, there is nowhere the CS is going to protect you. Yeah, if we are being honest. Wewe umeenda huko kwa maandamano umeshoot mtu. Uko peke yako. Hakuna wakati CS atakuja kotini. So mkange
utaenda kuanza kuquote hapo. Unaanza kuquote he said.
Page 4. As politicians beat the drums of war, the NCIC appears muzzled. We can see a section of MPs allied to former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua led by Gatanga MP Edward Morio, Kajiado North MP Onesmus Ngogoyo, Makueni Senator Dan Manzo, and Naivasha MP Jane Kihara, when they accused the National Cohesion and Integration Commission of bias at a past event. William Kamket, this is Tiati MP, anasema, if you think the Rungu-wielding goons who stormed Nairobi are trouble, come back next week and you will know who the Pokot youth are. This is one person who was quoted akiongea hate speech, right? Nelson Koech, Belgut MP, anasema, who told you we would serve for just one term? They should not mistake us for cowards. We are also capable of planning. Edwin Sufuna anasema, we have institutions like the NCIC whose job is to summon leaders like Sifuna. I haven't seen them summoning UDA members and allies of Ruto. And then Caleb Amisi, Saboti MP, amesema, do they have any teeth? Do they bite? Or is it just holding a press conference and after the press conference doesn't solve anything? Now, this is what the NCIC has said in response to all these questions that Kenyans are asking. So, NCIC blames funding shortfall for its weak bite on hate. So, National Cohesion and Integration Commission Chairperson Samuel Kobia addressed the press in Naivasha last year, where he called for the arrest of more than 10 MPs over hate speech. That is last year. But this year, wanasema hawana nini? Hawana pesa, because apparently they sought 750 million for the year 2025-2026 fiscal year, but got 568 million, hampering its work. With more funds, NCIC says it would boost hate speech probes, sensitization drives as well. Mimi nataka niulize.
Uliza.
750 million wanataka kupeleka wapi?
to probe.
A commission of 7 people.
To
Ama mimi ndio sielewi.
To facilitate.
Ama mimi ndio sielewi how NCIC operates.
Well, I think for the longest time, of course, they have claimed the issue of non-funding or less funding of the body, and of course it has hindered their work. But now the question is, because these are some of the key bodies that the budgets should have considered in a big way, actually, because issues to do with NCIC, issues to do with the police reforms, those are some of the things, issues to do with education, health, and so forth. Those are some of the key issues in our countries that really need good funding. But as we always say here, we see a big part of the budget of the country going to recurrent expenditures, and basically sana the wage bill of the country.
So let's see how they spend 750 million if they were to be given.
Yeah, to party a breakdown.
According to the Standard again,
Yes.
This is on page 5. At a glance is what they say. Among the functions of NCIC included enhancing tolerance, understanding, and acceptance of diversity in all aspects of national life, promote respect for religious, cultural, and linguistic diversity in a plural society, investigate on its own accord or on request from any institution, office, or person any issue affecting ethnic and racial relations, initiate, lobby for, and advocate for policy, legal, or administrative reforms on issues affecting ethnic relations, monitor and report to the National Assembly the status and success of implementation of its recommendations. Penalty for hate speech offense is a fine not exceeding 1 million shillings or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or both. And hate speech is use of threatening, inciting, abusive, or insulting words or behavior, or display of any written material with the intention of stirring up ethnic hatred. Ethnic hatred is defined as hatred against a group or persons defined by reference to color, race, nationality, or ethnic or national origins. Haya. Mimi sijaona mali 750 million itahitajika hapo. Si kwa ubaya.
Itaenda katika all those activities.
Kufanya nini? Kufanya nini?
Hizo kazi.
Ni nini mnafanya na 750 million?
Promoting cohesion,
that one you can
tolerance. You know, they are supposed to be doing I think I've been in one of their meetings.
Right.
Yes. And of course they do.
Where was this
that
meeting?
Is in Coast. Yes. Yeah, you know.
Was it like in a town hall? Was it in the streets? Was it at a theater?
No,
where was it?
They do organize sometimes organize a meeting, like maybe with the community, the members of the fourth estate.
Right.
They will include different people. And you know, when people come there, of course, watalipia hizo places, kuna zingine watapeana mpaka facilitations of these people and so many others. Of course, there are facilitators of such programs.
Okay.
Yeah. Kuna two cost they will incur, but I feel that this is a big amount of money.
Okay.
Yeah, that which ikitumika vizuri inaweza kufanya kazi. Let them not tell us now that small difference, although it is not small.
Yes.
It's the one that is hindering the all work because
haya. For example, sasa tumeona Tiati MP. Yes? William Kamket akisema Kenya alisema. They don't need money for that one. It is all over social media. You will watch it on news. You will read it rather on rgk.co.ke. You only need bundles. Bundles ni pesa ngapi? Shilingi 5 uko na bundles. Yeah?
You need his speech.
It is right there on the internet today. If you wanted to check what Tiati MP said, it is still there on YouTube. You do not need 750 million to capture that video. Kweni kuipeleka hivi kotini, flash disk ni pesa ngapi?
Okay, you are seeing it from the seeing it from the perspective of a flash disk.
Akuje nimpatie flash disk yangu for free. Kama ni if they are just lacking a flash disk to carry this information to where it is required, wakuje niwapatie.
Somebody to go arrest him.
The cops are there. Them, they don't need nini. They already
they
funded.
Just need to coordinate with the other departments. Departments, yes.
Cops don't need. They are already on a salary. NCIC inalipanga makarao.
Weka gari mafuta. Kwenda Tiati.
Alafu already kuna mapolisi Tiati. Kwani Tiati hakuna polisi? We don't need cops from Central Police to go there to Tiati. Kuna Tiati police station.
Well, don't be surprised some other day in future. ukiona the controller of budget coming out and saying kuna hii na hii na hii na hii ilifanyika katika hii.
People joke in this country. So, protect Ugandans in West Pokot. Lobby urges government. Ala, tulikuwa tunaongea tu juu ya Pokot saizi, eh? Anyway, a human rights organization has urged the Kenyan government to protect Ugandan families reportedly facing threats in West Pokot County following the arrest of 12 suspects linked to alleged abductions and cannibalism. Remember you told me this story, eh? Watu huko wanakulana mbaya.
No, it was actually, yeah, it was that claim from the residents from those side. They were claiming that kuna watu wanakula
binadamu wenzao.
Yes. Okay, they were claiming. I do not know how true the story is, whether it has been confirmed, because apparently they said wakienda kwa nyumba kulikuwa na reported children, and some other time wakienda katika nyumba ya wale washukiwa, they could find clothes of people, and
who
again I saw something, somebody is saying that utter bones and so forth. Yeah.
And then you had mentioned this story, eh? Court issues or arrest order for Koimburi over abduction plots.
There's a story here from Kenya, the KNCHR, urging the state to expedite more post-mortem for protest deaths. A human rights watchdog wants the government to expedite post-mortem exercises on the bodies of those killed during recent protests and waive hospital bills for the injured. That is the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, explaining the vital processes that are slow, and this is the visiting extra anguish, of course, and pain on the poor loved ones who are already grieving. Okay. Yeah, and of course tumeona mambo mengi about that. I'm looking at, you have lost a loved one. Amekuwa hospitali. There is a bill to pay, first of all, for the treatment services that have been offered. And again, you also have to incur cost of going to bury that person. So most definitely we would want the government to support actually hasten the processes of the post-mortem. The post-mortem processes, so that you don't sayote kila mtu, like you've lost a loved one, then every other time unashinda hospitali, unashinda kotini. I think it is quite and again, you cannot bury that person kabla evidence haijapatikana, kabla post-mortem haijafanyika. Yes. Okay.
Again, like we said yesterday, families are undergoing a lot of stress and tragedies. So it's one of those issues where you sympathize with them, but there's literally nothing you can do for them apart from just praying. Yeah. There's nothing much you can do for them. There's a story here about Dagoretti. Kuna police station ilichomwa. And then the court, because of the fact that in a police station imechomwa, they had to release those suspects. And this is what the court said about releasing those suspects. So the aftermath of Sabasaba protests at Dagoretti police station. So yesterday, that 7 suspects were released on a cash bill of 50,000 shillings or 200,000 bond, because the police station is non-existent. Imechomeka yote. You can't keep suspects in there.
Utaweka wapi?
Sasa koti nasema, okay, Patricia, tutakuachilia for today. For today. Lakini wacha bond ya 200,000 ama bail ya 50k.
Okay, let me ask you, from that day mpaka leo hii, where have they been keeping these people? I think they taken them to Kibera. Yeah,
to the locals?
The cases, I think the cases, the cases. But now the inmates, walikuwa wamepelekwa wapi? Where have they been staying mpaka today?
See that police station which has been burnt down?
Ikiwa hivyo.
No, si ilichomwa. Sasa video imechomwa, koti imebidi sasa imesema hawa watu to avoid overcrowding in other police stations. Just let them go, but with bail or bond.
Okay. The Auditor General has exposed a 22.5 billion variance in the funds payout, that is about NHIF, and it's said that she has been denied access to the NHIF e-claims system. I think we were talking about that same issue.
Nilikwambia NHIF ilizimwa na 90 billion huko kwa account.
So now there is a variance of 22.5 billion na mkaguzi wa mahesabu sa serikali amenyimwa nafasi ya kuweza kuaccess that e-claims system. Bali ambapo ndio akague pale atuambie
afanye forensic audit.
This is where this variance is coming from. You get. Nataka kujua like kwa hii system we want to see there is this hospital. You are claiming that wali claim this much in terms of bills to be paid. There's this also, this other one, Ivo, so that we get to understand where this 22.5 billion is coming from. Lakini amenyimwa nafasi. Yeah.
Na hivyo ndivyo kumeenda.
This despite repeated warnings from the Auditor General. The fund has failed to implement lasting reforms, allowing irregularities to persist and even grow. Even with billions in public funds at stake, the question that remains is whether the report will be acted upon or will join those gathering dust in the shelves of supposed actors.
Okay.
Mimi nimekuambia mara nyingi, ripoti mkaguzi anatoa nyingi sana. And even the controller, kuna a lot of reports that they usually give out. But then it is quite unfortunate that in our country, most of the time, hizo ripoti zimeekwa kule katika maofisi, nobody is acting upon them.
Right. So no one, and the fact that no one is acting upon them, is anyone following up on them as well?
That is the
Chances
question.
the answer to that also is no. Yeah.
Of course.
So I guess we shall wait and see how that pans out. But there's a lot going on, and just like you have also mentioned, as far as the Office of the Auditor General is concerned, it's an independent office. We know that. It's a constitutional office, independent. But just how independent is independent? You know, we are seeing here NCIC also an independent office. Hawana pesa. Wamesema wao wenyewe hana pesa kufuatilia an MP who says he will ferry youths from a particular county to Nairobi. Hawana pesa aje. Like we've said, the information is right there on social media. You can get it on YouTube, you can get it on TVs from every other TV station and radio station, but yeah, there we are.
Movie, as I keep on telling you, that we have systemic issues in our country.
Yes.
And again, these are the systems that have really been fueling a lot of these challenges that we are experiencing in our country. Talk of corruption, talk of people being accountable, such things. Zinafanyika kwa sababu ya systemic issues.
We shall wait and see how that pans out. Right now though, it's time for us to introduce our guest in studio. We do have none other than the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party, that is Honorable Jeremiah Kioni. Mheshimiwa, a very good morning to you and welcome to Radio Generation.
Morning to you. I'm happy to be here.
The last time I saw you, you were looking this healthy. Mheshimiwa, haunoni, haukondi? Tupatie siri tafadhali.
Kusumbuliwa na mambo ya kasongo.
Umekataa kusumbuliwa.
Umeweka backseat.
Actually, let's just start from there.
But you keep fighting it.
Yes. So allow me to introduce you to my colleague. This is Patricia Wayua.
Patricia.
Yes.
Pressure.
Right. Now, Mheshimiwa, the question we want to ask is about 2027, because I believe everything else has been spoken about. However, we are seeing what is happening right now is as a result of people expecting something in 2027. Is it too early to politic for 2027?
If we really cared about the welfare of Kenyans, if we really cared for about even had a thought as to why people are put in offices after every 5 years,
right?
Then 2027 is too far to start politicking. Our constitution provides a time frame within which politics should be conducted, and it is never 2 years before elections. One of the biggest problems that we are facing, and is that also contributes to the reasons why you are seeing many protests across the country, is that this is a country where we politic throughout one's life. Kuanzia January to December, Monday to Friday, all through all year round, 5 years in a row. Ideally, what should happen if we want to develop and what should happen if we want to develop this country is that you are in a campaign for a maximum of a year.
Right.
Ideally, it should be the serious campaign period is supposed to be 6 months, but you can start preparing 9 months to elections. Then after that, you are off the car roofs and you are in the offices working, looking for solutions to the issues that are bedeviling Kenyans. But ours is a campaign. It's unbelievable. It was never intended to be this way by our constitution. But that abuse of that process is one of the key reasons as to why we have problems. And I'll tell you why. How much money does the whoever occupies State House spend every time you are on your car roof moving around this country?
We have seen that this year they're spending over 1 billion in transport alone.
And that is $1 billion to State House. Remember, unlike any other presidency, every ministry this time has a vote for the president. Every ministry. So on top of what the money you see allocated to State House,
yes,
every ministry has money that will have to be spent when you're moving around with the president. So he is literally taking maybe more than, it could be something to 20% of the budget, because that was never the case. And we have a parliament that is completely, I don't know what I want to use. They don't check on those things.
So actually, let me just ask you on that transport issue. So this year, budget allocations for State House to just move around are at 2.17 billion. Who in State House is moving apart from the president and his aides? Nobody else moves other than him. The money is allocated to him because the State House does not move unless he is moving. So you can imagine 2.7 billion for one person moving. And on top of that, if you want to actually know the total amount of money that he spends in his these funny things, then go through every ministry's budget and check the vote that is allocated to the presidential functions within the ministry. Then you understand the kind of wastage that we have in this country. And then your question becomes very relevant, because it's a question of for how long can we campaign during a term in office. If it's a developmental issue, I think, then his budget alone in the State House should be adequate. But because he wants to go dish out money, mobilize people, have crowds that are hired, the dancers, everybody is also moving. Is that part of the budget? It's part of the budget. The 2.17 billion. It is part of the budget, including the money that he uses to give people to attend meetings. It's part of that money.
Okay.
What?
Yes.
All right. So the president moves around with all these people and all these vehicles. So he goes to a place like Machakos. Machakos is literally maybe 1 hour from State House. Does he need to move with all those people and spend all these monies, or he can just literally move with a small, let me call it army, just a small contingent of people, make his statement in Machakos and just come back to Nairobi?
Working with relativity or looking at what others did might help us perhaps appreciate why, if we don't put our finger on such things, we will never get off as a country. It's for that reason that Uhuru used to open hospitals in the night.
Okay.
Because you drive to that place with 1 or 2
vehicles. Officials, yeah.
He just goes, opens it, and he's back to State House. Least disturbance to the traffic with the minimum number of people. He only needs to fight the contractor and the engineer there.
Yes.
And he's back to State House.
And that's it.
You start operating like a normal being. Because when you're driving 2-3 cars in the night, and of course there's security, then the security people have their money, their permanently doing these things. That's when you become careful or mindful of the welfare of the people and the country. We may never get to know the number of hospitals that were opened by Uhuru during the COVID period.
Okay.
Because there was a lockdown. During that lockdown, that's what the time he would be able to do many things. Wengine wanasema mlevi, but you are better off with a drunkard who knows that it costs money to buy beer.
But right now we have a pastor.
Than a pastor who doesn't even know that for a Bible you also need to buy a Bible. We have, and I tell you, it's good that you picked that issue. If you pay attention to the wastage, because our expenditure today as a country is around William Ruto. Everything in this government moves only when he moves. So whatever budget you are reading, It's his budget.
Well, I want to understand this aspect of a running mate, because I think it is one of the key issues that push for these early campaigns in our country, and of course the opposition. There's a time I know you wanted to be a deputy president. Yes, I remember that time. Tell me, what is the problem? What is happening with this position?
I still remember the question that was asked of us when you were having that debate with William Ruto, who was part of it, and it was done here at St. Andrew's, All Saints Cathedral.
Yes.
I think is the direction. And the question is, what is the role of the running mate of a deputy president? And I was there, Kalonzo was there, William was there. I think there was some other two gentlemen.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, if you really wanted to be honest with to Kenyans,
Yes.
the answer is there is no role until the president
Gives you.
dies.
Okay.
But
The deputy's president work, and why we created it there, it was not because it required functions. We were not looking for two centers of power.
Okay.
You are a deputy, you are deputizing your boss. And if you have a good relationship, he'll keep sending you out for assignments. But also, if he's mindful of running the country in a lean manner, the deputy should be cheaper to run around than himself. So there are many of the functions that the deputy can attend on his behalf. But in terms of a constitutional mandate, you have zero. Zero. The mandate you have is to share the first cabinet sitting on the death of the president. Tupanga vile utasika ye. Alafu kasi endelea Kenya.
Okay.
But now we have picked the deputy as another politician, who is assigned to have a country. And that have a country, you must bring it under your control.
Yeah.
So we have now two centers of power. In
power.
fact, two presidents, two individuals in the presidency who have very heavy budgets. So as a country, we continue suffering.
Okay.
So
Because you see also, when now Kidiki moves, he moves with the entire parliament. Those members of parliament, every time they move, they are paid for. Not from their own expenses, which are also provided for, but they are lazima wapatiwe mafuta ya gari zao. If you're hiring shoppers, you have to hire shoppers for them. So we are on a wastage spree. I don't see us getting out of this mess.
I hear people say that the deputy president is the principal assistant. So when they say principal assistant to the president,
just read the mandate of the deputy president in the constitution.
Okay.
Don't assign it any other role. And you as a deputy must also stop antagonizing your boss. I mean, when you antagonize your boss, it means that from the day one, you never quite understood one another. Ama nyinyi mlikuwa wakora wawili.
Na sasa kama kuna situation whereby, like for example, former DP Gachagua was saying that he disagreed with his boss on a lot of issues, including human rights issues, and that is why he found himself in hot soup and eventually impeached. So does it mean that as a DP, if I'm your DP and I see you're doing things wrongly, ninyamaze tu, because at the end of the day tuliingia on a single ticket, and I should, even if you're killing people, even if you're stealing money from the coffers, I just shut up, because at the end of the day,
if you think your boss is not doing what he should be doing, you resign.
Okay.
You don't antagonize the country. You resign.
And that is what Gachagua should have done.
Yes, and then you become your own person. And we will know you for those principles. You do not wait to be thrown out.
Okay.
And you also don't create another center of power. Because while you think you are helping us, you actually get us into us problems. Because you get the country on a spin. And you will see this with some other democracies, like even look at Trump. When this is called who? Mike Pence.
Pence, yes.
When Mike Pence thought that things are not well, he only spoke towards the end as they were exiting. And he actually said he was not available to be his running mate
in future.
And that's exactly what happened. But again, look at now his replacement.
Vance.
Vance is a complete loyalist waiting to be assigned.
Aro.
And he is doing very well. In fact, if anybody wants to be a deputy, that's the kind of a person you should be benchmarking with. And he's actually now, you can actually tell whoever is going to try and run against him 2028 akona kibarua, because the guy is already presidential. He's not antagonizing Trump. But even if the style of Trump, you may have a problem with it when he was handling this one of our African presidents. You may have this is not the way to deal with your another president. But you have to be loyal also. Loyalty is key. Loyalty is key in this kind of things.
Business. Yeah. All right. So getting back to succession politics in 2027, we can see a lot is going on. There are some people who are very, very impatient. They cannot wait for 2027. We have seen the chants going on. Ruto must go. Zakayo Ashuke and so on and so forth. Just how possible is that? Because it's a conversation that has really taken center stage.
That's not impatience. That is also the role of the citizens. And that's why it was created for in the Constitution. Picketing and keeping the government in check. It's not impatience. You are asking for delivery of services, delivery of promises that were made. What you'll have seen is that that has now been, whatever was intended to have been a protest, a push of the system to deliver, has turned out to be something else, because we've lost too many lives. We've seen the destruction of property. You can assign it to X, Y, Z. And we have actually seen as a regime that is exploiting that push. And why Kenya becomes also a study on this issue is that the push that made sense, forget about the push we had as Azimio. You remember the one for Azimio was a protest against the outcome of the results.
Right.
That basically was what was driving us. Of course, we had the other issues of cost of living and issues that related to Kenyans. But we were together, and we were together in a run-up to 2022, wanting Raila Amolo Odinga to be the president. We said that elections were not fair. We claimed they were stealing, and they still hold that those were stolen elections. So that was one of the reasons why we remained glued together. And that phase came in the broad-based government, the thinking of Raila. It wasn't the thinking of Azimio. But then the Kenyans, apparently, there is a whole lot of Kenyans who had some shade of faith in what we were doing. Not because they associated themselves with our clamor or our cry that elections were stolen, but because they knew in the crying for justice on part of the elections, we carried along their concerns. So when we look like we were settled and happy because somebody has been donated experts XYZ and those kind of stories,
right? Then
the populace said, whenever it is, either we kept quiet or joined you, it wasn't because we were looking for anything in this government. We wanted delivery of services. You have abandoned us. They, on their own account, came and pushed. This push, and that's where you find we politicians, leaders, almost lost.
Yeah.
The push is completely devoid of political leadership and clamor for somebody to become anything. We can only try to run on that wave to become something.
Okay.
But this is a wave that is pushing for better governance, accountability, transparency, justice. And there's nothing you can do about it other than trying to satisfy that demand.
Okay.
So like now, we've just talked about the vote of the kitty, or the vote that is given to the presidency. And I could see that it is something that is hitting you very hard.
Right.
It must also have hit many Kenyans that hard. And these are the things that push people to the streets. So while you hear them saying you must go, remember, and you can tell the difference between the movement and the political class.
Okay.
Them, they are saying Ruto must go. Of course, we have now, as politicians, we picked it and called it the one term. But they were never the issue of one term. Them is go if you can't deliver on this.
Yeah, they want
things.
it happening now.
Because you are not delivering. I want to go to school, I can't go to school. My mother, my father, my child is in hospital. You can't help me pay. I'm paying. I have a disabled child here. I've been abandoned. My wife is about to deliver. I cannot afford the CS. All those things are immediate issues
The immediate
that need
needs.
to be dealt with now.
Right.
But the one term is a fixing of a political, is actually bringing into office another political class. So while you can see this movement, they're actually almost very
Similar.
distinct, not similar, but they're very, very distinct, different. If you go and try and get a wembe ukate, utaona ni tofauti.
Okay.
And that is why when those in power are trying to blame the politicians in the opposition
Right.
for the protest, haigiani. Haigiani kwa sababu kusema ukweli wanasiasa hawako kwa hii
movement ya
movement ya Gen Z
ya toka saizi.
na nitoka saa hizi ilianza ikiwa Gen Z and it is actually one that is now in the whole family. And I'll tell you what, when we went to attend the burial of this young girl, and pole sana to the family once again, at Kiabu Kodjoki, this 12-year-old,
Yes.
bright girl by the way, a shining lady, a young girl in all manner of ways. And you sat there and listened to the speeches kutoka kwa watoto, kwa wazazi, kwa kanisa. The speeches were not resonating with the politicians, me included.
How so?
And I could tell there is a disconnect. In fact, I told my colleagues, there is a disconnect. We have to be careful with the narratives here. Because the owners of the protest, the masses, are now saying, we need to sit down. These killings are too much. We, the politicians, are saying we do not want to be party to this dialogue conclave thing. Because Raila is now coming again to at our level to talk about a conclave.
Yes.
But that was never the intention of the movers of the protest. So you can actually see these are two units.
Okay.
So if you make a mistake as a politician, na uende ukae kwa hii kitu Raila anaitana, utaenda useme unakaa kwa miamba ya nani. The regime will come and sit with Raila and the rest. Lakini wewe utaenda useme ulikaa kwa miamba ya nani. In any case, they have never invited you to their protests.
So hold on, Mheshimiwa.
You invited yourself to it.
Are you saying that yesterday at the burial of this young girl, that the ground is now saying something different? By ground, I mean the masses.
Yes, the masses are talking of, can you sit down?
Can you or can they?
No, they are saying, of course, you know, this is the thing when you say leaderless, fearless, what?
Tribeless.
The tribeless. The last thing, you can actually now see that void. Because they are saying, can you sit down? And to them, to those who are speaking, this protest, the push is like it was being pushed by the opposition members of the leadership in the opposition.
Right.
But to be honest with you, we have not been pushers of that protest. No, this is something very, very organic. And there's no amount of sitting down, because you're sitting down with who? Who has the mandate to sit down on behalf of this movement?
Okay.
The only person with the mandate to sit on behalf of this movement are the issues. So who is in governance, sit down with the issues and start being seen to be sensitive to what they are saying.
Okay.
So then, I'm sorry. To put it into context then, in your own personal opinion, as Jeremiah Kioni, what's the way forward? Sitting down, or what are we saying? Because now I'm also
before you come to that,
yeah,
you then see the only thing that then people have narrowed down to is wewe ndio uko kwa ofisi, naonekana wewe ndio shida, basi uende. Yes?
Yes.
So that's why the clarion call of one term is now resonating with the people who were not the very active participants in the protest,
right?
But the people who are in the background in the family, in the family of mother, father and children, children are in the protest.
Yes.
Wazazi wako nyuma, watoto wametokea wameenda protest. So sasa wazazi wanasema hebu mkae chini.
Okay.
But they don't actually know who to tell.
Send, yeah.
Who to tell. They think they are telling us to sit down. But the sitting down we did ourselves as politicians was in the Nandiko.
Okay.
Which I kept saying was a waste of time. And up to date, you can actually see it was actually a waste of time. Because if we had used it well, we would not have gotten the protest out.
Okay.
So in terms of where do we go from here, I tell you the solution is only one. those in government must start delivering.
Okay.
There's nothing like sitting down.
I think.
And I'm telling you, you can see it's not even the so-called goons that are coming. The people who demolished property is none of the initiators of the protests. Zero. Watu wamekuja na wewe mwenyewe kama saa hii si tuko kwa studio hapa.
Ndio.
Una iko Bufi,
Patricia.
iko Patricia mko hapa. Alafu mimi nimekuja mumenialika.
Ndio.
Alafu you see, we know now the people who, you know the whole station.
Yes.
Then you come one day and you see people broadcasting, nasema wale watu ni kweli wanasema mambo ya radio yetu lakini si wetu. That's how it was.
Well, I want to understand.
I have to make this point.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, go ahead.
You look at Orkarao,
Yes.
you look at Kirinyaga, look at all Roiro, Juja, everywhere. I was in Kiambu and watu wanasema a caregiver said I was giving first aid kwa wale ambao walikuwa wamewezwa na mambo ya tiangas. But it also hit me, who are these people? I am a caregiver here in Kiambu.
Yes.
How is it I can't identify one face of a young man from this region? That was the case across from 25th of June.
Yes.
And Sabasaba. Individuals have been ferried from away from those regions.
Okay.
Only one or two people
Were
knew
genuine.
the area. And how do you confirm this? By the confession of the people who were inside the shops that were being attacked.
Yes.
Wakikuja kubomoa duka ya Patricia, unasikia huko nje wakisema hapana, sio hiyo ya Patricia, ni ya Buvi. So the guys who came were strangers. One or two knew Buvi's shop and Patricia. Na wao ndio walikuwa wanapatiana. Now I'll tell you the last statement.
Yeah.
What we gather and what we hear, which the state must investigate or clarify, is that majority of those people who are demolishing properties were from prisons. They were prisoners.
Okay. Watu walitolewa assuming committee
kuja kufanya kazi na walikuwa wamalize kazi. If it is Buvi's shop, you are given a sign to go and burn.
Yes.
You burn it, come back, you are released.
Okay.
You don't burn, you come back and you are jailed for something else. So that's an animal released to the public.
Well, I want to take you back to what the president said the other day, the issue of the protesters, terming them as terrorists and so forth. And I want to believe that the first process to healing, the first step to healing is first of all accepting that you are sick, you have a problem. Then now you can be able to seek healing. So now when the president has said that he did not see whatever Kenyans are doing, them doing to the former administration, he said that I have not seen you people mukifanyia the former president whatever you are doing to me. First of all, it is a sign that maybe he feels like Kenyans are unfair to him. And according to the reports that we have been getting about what he's doing, the affordable houses, amesema unga imeshuka, so many other things. According to what I can read is that the president feels that people are unfair to him. What do you have to say about that?
One, wewe kama ndio baba wa boma, tafadhali punguza kelele. Kila ukitokezea kama ni kelele, si watu wanapotea. Ukionekana unakuja kwa boma na wewe mtu ya kelele, watoto watakibia, waende walale, wengine waende wachini, kumekujwa. Puru. So you're left with just a frightened mother. William Ruto must stop quarreling Kenyans. In fact, I heard mzee saying, huyu mzee kila saa anakuja kupigia nani kelele? Nani alimwambia alienda State House kila akikuja kwa TV kupigia sisi kelele? Number 2, you will have lost it. If you come on a national television, you are talking to Kenyans and you are the one in State House. It doesn't matter which door ulitumia. Mimi yangu mlango alitumia si ya ukweli.
But ako State House.
Lakini yako pale.
Okay.
Haijalishi vile ulifika pale. Lakini kila ukitokea unawaita wale walikupeleka pale terrorists, criminals. Your own, unajua the goons and even the protesters and the police officers
yes,
are all yours. Yes. And you have all termed us as terrorists and criminals, that shuts the door to kila mtu. Kama ametuita terrorist na criminal, this guy is even worse of a criminal. Wachana naye, hata wasaidia. It's a terrible thing. Whoever is advising him, that's not what you do. You have to compose yourself and be seen to be a person capable of coming up with solutions in the thick of those things.
All right.
Number 3.
Yes, okay.
Number 3 that is also important. He comes and says, he comes and dismisses. So he's not giving any hope. Any hope. And finally, my grandchild has gone to Aga Khan this morning for some minor surgery. Saa hii, hiyo surgery anafanywa, hata ukimpelekea suti mpya na ako na uchungu wa mwili, hata kama hawezi kukuambia dadi au kukaa, what is this you are doing to me, he can, something in his mind will tell him there's something that is not right. I need this pin sorted out.
Yes.
Then I can wear
the suit.
The suit.
Right.
Hii mambo ya kutuambia unatujengea affordable housing and we are delivering along the roads. There is no medicine in the hospital. Children cannot go to school.
Yeah.
You know, kila mtu anakuambia wachana na kuatuambia hiyo ni yako. Whatever time it will become relevant sawa. Remember, Moi had also started housing one time. Unakumbuka vitu zilikuwa zinaitwa Nyayo high rise.
I want us to take a short break. We do the news. Then when we return, of course, we pick it up from there. This whole issue of what wanaumia, and we're expecting to see a lot of change. So here comes Winnie Maganga. We're in studio with Jeremiah Kioni. He is the Secretary General of Jubilee Party. Any questions, send them to Radio Gen KE.
Radio Generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. The family of James Nayo, a 37-year-old fisherman who died during the Saba Saba protest in Naivasha, is demanding accountability after post-mortem revealed he was shot from the back. The autopsy results confirmed that the bullet pierced through his back and exited through the abdomen, causing severe internal damage and bleeding that led to his death. The post-mortem carried out at Naivasha Sub-County Hospital mortuary was led by government pathologist Dr. Titus Ngulungu. He confirmed that Nayo died from the injuries while undergoing treatment on July 7th.
There was a gunshot to the abdomen which injured the transverse colon and also the underlying mesentery and probably caused bleeding. He went to theater and then there was resection of a part of the colon, that is the transverse and also the descending colon.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen says the government is set to review the curfew imposed in the last 3 years to curb the runway insecurity in Turkana. This follows a closed-door regional and county security meeting during the Jukwaa la Usalama tour of the county. He noted that a return of relative calm in the disturbed areas, especially Turkana South and East, made the review necessary. He adds he will review the curfew timing based on a security briefing to give locals more time as they monitor the situation.
On Todonyang issue, remember there is still pending verification of the exact numbers, and partly because people who are suspected to have lost their lives inside the lake. So in the absence of finding the bodies, it's become very difficult to verify the exact numbers and say with the utmost certainty that this is the number of people. Missing persons report indicate that the numbers were higher. But confirmation, in terms of when you want to announce numbers, you can only say they are missing people. You can't say that they died, because by the legal procedure, you must first verify if those people died. Some reports also indicate that there are some people who are still alive.
The Ministry of Health has launched an intensive investigation into the mysterious deaths of 4 people in Migadini area, Mombasa County. Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale says samples from the deceased now being analyzed at the Kenya Medical Research Institute in Kilifi. Duale confirmed on Wednesday that laboratory tests are underway and results will be shared once investigations are complete. The 4 people aged between 55 and 91 were found dead in their homes between July 9th and July 14th in Matangini's village, Changamwe.
Not established any clear pattern. Our team is on the ground, led by the Chief Government Pathologist, Dr. Johansen Odror. As soon as we receive reports, we shall be able to share with you. No cause for alarm now because some of the cases are reported to have had coexisting conditions and they had been in contact with the health facilities.
All the tests samples have been sent to our Kemri labs in Kilifi, and we will tell the country what's going on. But what the DG has said as our head of technical, not only for me but for the whole country.
The Treasury has defended the government's decision to securitize a portion of the fuel levy. Treasury CS John Mbadi insists the process was transparent, lawful and necessary to unlock stalled infrastructure projects. Speaking in Nairobi during the launch of a petroleum sector report on Wednesday, Mbadi dismissed recent criticism by Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro, who claimed that the move had contributed to the recent spike in fuel prices.
You know, when you start misreporting things and giving statements that are not factual, and you have been chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, then you leave Kenyans asking questions whether you have what it takes to offer leadership. Because we feel you are using these 18 shillings on Maram roads, which is not helping this economy. You know, PDL is not just about price stabilization. It is for price stabilization and developing the petroleum industry. The government chooses when now to intervene. EPRA, my understanding, felt that for now we don't have to intervene because, you know, if you intervene too early, you can deplete that fund.
The U.S. Department of Justice has fired a veteran federal prosecutor who worked on the case against sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, his accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, and hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. It is not clear why Maureen Comey was removed from her job at the Southern District of New York. Her exit was confirmed by U.S. news outlet CBS. She is the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, whom President Donald Trump fired in 2017. And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning. I'm Winnie Maganga.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio Generation. Radio Generation assumes no responsibility or liability for the interviewee's views. This is Radio Generation. In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generation's The People's Breakfast, curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast, your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights, Radio Generation.
A very good morning to you once again and welcome to Radio Generation. My name is Mungala Mbuvi. I'm with Patricia Wayua. But most importantly, our guest for this morning is none other than the Secretary General of the Jubilee Party, that is Honorable Jeremiah Kioni. Mheshimiwa, once again, welcome to the studio.
Nashukuru.
Yeah. Sorry I had to cut you off for the news, but if we can just go back to the conversation that we were having earlier on. You were just describing a very critical aspect. So we can go back to that as we talk about also, and I like the fact that you said that there's a disconnect between what people are chanting in the streets and what politicians are thinking and what they are saying, and at what point then shall we have a point where we shall converge? Karibu.
I think you need sorry. One of the things that is clear is that those in the state, if they are able to suppress the protests, you've already seen a spike in the cost of fuel. Expect more. Because once the government does not feel threatened, or if the government does not feel like it is under any pressure from any corner, then expect them to push the cost of living higher. It is for that reason that William was very keen, even when we were talking about sufuria, nimefaa sufuria na ndio ni watu walikuwa wanasema huyu ni mwenda wazimu, this is a madman. He wasn't bothered about what we were symbolizing by having sufurias on our heads. He concentrated on how do I deflate this team. That's how he got William Tinga into the broad-based government. Now the problem is, and I'm sure Raila is having problems, is I brought you in, you had promised me that the Maandamanos are going to be over. We have worse Maandamanos. So the relevance of Odinga in the broad-based government, hakuna. And that's why you hear Kina Osoro and the others, this guy of Kisii, is Osoro and another gentleman, I can't remember his name, I think Jabil or somebody.
All right.
They are now telling ODM, kubuka, hamukutusaidia kuingia State House. Kama mmeshindwa kukaa na sisi, nedeni. Why? It was never a question of the issues like William Raila was saying that he donated experts. No. It's a question of, can you be able to suppress this so that we do things the way we know best.
Right.
Now, the Gen Z come and put pressure on their own account. The finance bill is not signed until much later into the other. Yeah, we know we've been in with the government without a finance bill like almost 2-3 years.
Yes.
And with the killings, extrajudicial killings and disappearances and all those things, arrests, there's some measure of suppression. And when they are comfortable, prices up, taxes up, everything will go up. And that's when I'm telling you can actually see the disconnect, because the politicians, we left issues in the NADICO report, not with a solution, but just having documented them in the NADICO report. But since then, we've never gone back to the issues. We have now gone back to sloganeering.
Okay.
The people with the issues are the protesters. And that's where the disconnect is. And that's why I actually told people, we must work on our narratives. We are not resonating with the masses. Jockey was a clear statement. And you see, since we also wanted to ride on the wave of the protesters, the Gen Z, it's very easy to be dragged into the people who are opposing the government. You know, it's like the government versus the opposition, and hence the firing of bullets. But this was the government versus its own people. If we had been able to define ourselves well and define the issues on behalf of the Kenyans, maybe, and with some little bit of understanding as to why you are in State House, we may not have gotten to where we are. But that trust is gone. Hence, the reason why everybody is now focusing on when can we get them out. There are those who are saying must go now. And the politicians, in our lazy way, we are talking of one term, which comes with elections.
Okay.
I don't see anything in between there. So, but I think the pressure to make sure to help in one transparency, accountability, and taking responsibility, that will not go. The pressure to have affordable cost of living or a lower cost of living, that will still not go, kwa sababu kama mtu hana chakula kwake na ametupa nje ya nyumba na mambo kama hayo, hana kazi, utamwona kwa barabara.
Sure.
So there are people who are coming. Look at how these young people are saying, if some of them are even doing eulogies
for themselves,
saying there's nothing else I have in life, ni simu tu na bados.
Yeah.
So nisiporudi sasa, I will have died for a good cause.
Yeah.
So I am actually, my appeal is stop hoodwinking Kenyans with those concrete things. There's nothing to discuss. If there was anything to be discussed, it's already been discussed. It's contained in documents. Go back to Dongo report,
TJRC,
come all the way, even Akinawaki report, Kligra, all those things are there. Our 2010 constitution, the BBI also had a lot of recommendations to the issues that we are having. NADCO report, all those things are there. And then we have parliament. Let me also now bring in parliament. If members of parliament were every day on the floor speaking on behalf of Kenyans on the issues that concern them, protests will not be on the streets. Because even nilikuwa nataka isemwe. And then the members of parliament have all the power to force those in the executive to hear the cries of the Kenyans. If, for example, we are saying that the cost of medication is too high, children are not going to school, and you have a budget that is giving 2.7 billion to State House, as members of parliament, you refuse to pass it. It's that simple. You just deny them your vote.
I want to point out
that
parliament.
one,
yes,
and that alone,
yes,
will force them to allocate resources to where Kenyans want.
Kenyans believe,
and then the protest could go off.
Kenyans believe that parliament is already compromised. Just by going back to 2024 during the finance bill, they overwhelmingly voted for it, despite the fact that Kenyans had told each of the members of parliament not to do so.
Over 95%.
Exactly. And so parliament is, in the opinion of Kenyans, very compromised. Is this parliament, does it have the power and also just the moral authority to go back to President Ruto and tell him, look, ground inasema hivi? Because clearly they already told him that last year, and the president had his way in whichever way he had. Even we have members of parliament who came out and said, despite the protests and the rejection of the finance bill of last year, they still found ways of getting those laws back into parliament. They sneaked them back in somehow. So if parliament has the audacity to tell us that as Kenyans, surely does parliament have any moral authority? And number two, does it have the teeth to bite this situation that is currently?
This parliament doesn't. And but it's also because they have given themselves over, they sold themselves cheap. Actually, at no price to State House. Every executive would want to muscle parliament. Let me rephrase that. Every responsible executive would want to muscle parliament. I have been in that parliament under the leadership of Kibaki, under the leadership of Uhuru Kenyatta. They never wanted to muscle parliament. Kibaki was so keen on parliament that if we were seated in not State House, or even State House, but quite often, he would not actually even call us to State House. He never used to call members of parliament to State House. You would meet him in his boardroom on the second floor, Harambee House. That's where he would meet members of parliament. Because ni kwa ofisi, mnaita maneno ya ofisi. So you always used to be there. Na igefika saa 8:30, or any time parliament is starting, he was the one telling us, na sasa nani wako kule? His Kiswahili. Na kule nani sasa wako? Na huko ndio iko na maana zaidi. Can you go and come back? I remember we needed to pass, or the executive wanted to pass a budget for the army and also for the NIS.
During Kibaki's time.
I was a member of the committee of, that time it was Defense and Foreign Affairs. And he took time to try and tell us what these figures were about himself. And then I remember that time the deputy was Karanki, Majeshi. I remember him saying, can you go and explain to them, hii pesa tunashuku mnasema ya jeshi ni ya nini? Take them through. We were taken to the war room. Gichangi, take them to uko msitu, Karura. Explain to them why we need XYZ. Hii vitu mlikuja mkaniambia, waedeni muambie. We were taken to the barracks to see how we were, what we needed, taken to the war room to see our preparedness level against Al-Shabaab of Somali and what we needed to do. So by the time we were sitting in parliament, we were actually the one now championing it. But we had taken time to see XYZ. And then Kibaki was interesting. He actually involved us in the delivery of those things. If we had said jets were being bought,
yes,
he would say pelekea Mombasa, ona ile imekuja. we were buying a Mary that time, peleka waone, na tukapelekwa round barracks hapa, those kind of things.
Right.
So and I'm not saying that things were done perfectly then. We still had shortcomings, but I saw the respect of the law that you were given. Actually, somebody helping you to even understand the law that was given to you by the voters as a young politician, and how you can then be able to relate with the executive and the judiciary and the rest. But it was more of the judiciary. I saw it then. Uhuru's thing was different. Uhuru may not have gone down to that level of explaining, but he never sat to try and get members of the opposition into his government. Working with them is what he was looking for. Identifying the issues like those were identified at the BBI. Tukae chini, tujue shida za Wakenya ni zipi. Let's put them down. You in the opposition, weka hapa, na sisi tuweke hapa, and then we look for a solution. That's what happened. And I tell you, this country lost a movement to the BBI.
Okay.
So, it's the executive bad manners that eats into parliament. It's the lack of the spine for members of parliament that again has let us down to where we are. So a combination of both the executive and parliament has cost the rights of Kenyans. Those Kenyans who've died, they've died because of a very ineffective parliament, but also because of an executive that completely overreached, used brutal force, and behaved irresponsibly at any one point in time.
In less than
point in time.
like in less than 2 years. In 2 years' time, actually, we'll be having the elections. And right now, right now we have a new IEBC commission in place. Right now, I saw you claimed that the 2022 elections were rigged, especially for the presidential seat. Right now, do you trust the newly formed IEBC commission for fair, free, and credible elections come 2027?
For the record, the 2022 elections were rigged, not just at the presidency, but also many members of parliament. And you can even look at some very simple things. For example, if you look at the number of counties that were won by ODM, Azimio, or ODM Jubilee, the combination of all those parties that formed Azimio. And you look, in other words, if you look at the side that was blue and green, that tells you something went wrong. Look at the counties, the members of MCAs that were won across the country by Azimio, vis-a-vis by UDA. From every measure, we beat them. None of them. So how you end up with more votes as the president tells you that something went wrong somewhere. That for the record. And it will be there for the history. And I keep saying, of course, the Laida also is the moral authority to keep saying it, because we were saying open the servers. Now that he is the government, wafugwe safa. Ataye tuone hiyo. Now, we now have commissioners in office. And I can say here that from day one, I remember Kalonzo Musyoka had the issue of Koki and Muri and the other gentleman called Muri. One is that Wiper was not even entitled to that slot, because their numbers in parliament don't entitle them to a slot. The slot belonged to Jubilee.
All right.
And I told him, Kalonzo, two things. Our members of parliament, led by Sabina Chege, have betrayed us. So if it's anything we want to push on the floor as Jubilee, it becomes very difficult. So if it's a question of a person in the panel, the responsibility that, or what was expected of the 32 members of parliament from Jubilee, they completely lost it. They never understood it. They had sold their soul to William. Number two is that he is the one going for the presidency. So I believe that he is he's better positioned to look at the happenings within the electoral body, because as a presidential candidate, you have to have a keener look into those matters. So we actually donated our slot to process at that level, and these were the X number that were produced. They are now Kenyans. Wanaona vile jenzi wanafanya. Wanaona pari Kenya iko. I have faith that they will be responsible enough to serve the interest of Kenyans. You can come through any door. Lakini ukifika pale, wewe ufikirie mambo ya Kenya yote. Usipofikiria mambo ya Kenya yote, hawa wa Kenya wote watakusort.
Okay.
You remember the Gen Z saying whatever members of
MPs, yes.
I don't think that members of parliament slept Kosi. Don't imagine at one given point. No. That they went into parliament. So why would they not visit you if they say so?
Yes.
Huyu uchaguzi, commissioners must play above board. It is no longer the bombers thing. It is the Gen Z who are watching you and monitoring you on an hour-to-hour basis, minute-to-minute basis on their phones. They will deliver. If they do not deliver, they have themselves to blame.
So you do not have faith in the commission, you have faith in the system that has been set up.
I have faith in the Gen Z who will put the system
to task,
and the commissioners to task and hold them accountable.
Okay.
This is a scenario we didn't have before.
Yes.
We were relying on Raila to tell us iliibiwa wapi. Raundi hii Gen Z wenyewe watakwambia pahali imeibiwa. And I tell you, it's a worse time to serve
than before.
But if you have always wanted to deliver without any inhibitions, it is a better time to deliver because you just do it and demonstrate it.
So you had talked of when you attended and you talked of after listening to what was happening, you told your people to change the narrative. And it is quite clear that the Gen Zs will determine the 2027 elections in some way. And again, it is also clear that the Gen Zs are tired of these old political fabrics and all the political elites. It is quite clear. I know you've been pushing Matiang'i, of course. Gen Z says that he has been in the government. And it's not Gen Z, we have seen he has been in the government. What do you think the people that you are pushing to get into this office, how will they align with whatever Gen Zs are really pushing for?
You know, to not necessarily because you have seen somebody like Trump who came from completely, and if you notice, he is behaving better. He knows the issue of removing things behind curtains and bringing them to the front, which is a Gen Z approach. So the Trump of the first term is not the Trump of the second term. The Trump of the second term knows the system, he knows what to fix, he knows how to fix it. If you get somebody completely from the bruise and throw him in, will excite us for a while, but the systems will become a problem and later. Unasikia kitu inaitwa deep state. It is even in Washington they still have the same thing called deep state.
Right.
The deep state is not an office where you walk in open na ufugie hiyo maneno yote ndani. You can see now the deep state in the US is manifesting itself better because you have a whole host of judges who keeps giving injunctions against anything Trump does. You need to know, what do I do with those ones who oppose me from that angle? Otherwise, I'll be let out of office. 5 years will go. So what has Trump done? And I go back to Trump because he's a good example. He just concentrated and said, there are now how many injunctions? 90 something. How do we deal with them? Go with one case all the way to the Supreme Court. That's what he's done. So every time he's injected for one XYZ, he lands to the Supreme Court using the judicial process. So within 6 months, he's gotten some 3-4 Supreme Court judgments that have kind of watered down all that aspect of the deep state. So you need to know how to move this deep state, because all these parts in the public service are deep states on their own account. And that is why when William says, I am now in the deep, I have now the system, how can you rig me out? Wait until you realize you actually don't know the system yourself mwenyewe. Yes, and I can tell you, I've been in Kibaki, I've been with Uhuru in this system, and I tell you, the system can decide to be deeper when you are still there with it. And it did 2022.
Okay.
It just went deeper. Mko na hao hapa, mnakubaliana, mnaongea, you think you have their ears, but they are deeper. They are saying, we don't want dynasty. They had bought into that narrative completely. So when the voting came, they went deeper and brought in the hustler.
All right.
The deep state will sort you out. The deep state will sort William out. And the deep state is not just those within, but even those outside the system. So when you now say the Gen Z are tired of the old people, by the way, let me also tell you, 1992, when I was in their space, I was tired of the old people. But it took me to work with Kibaki for me to get into the system
and understand.
And Kibaki welcomed us, and he kept telling us, sasa wewe unakaa hapa na unafikiria kuna kitu unajua na unasema kwa boardroom na unaongea kwa sauti sana. Nani anajua wewe? Nani mwingine anajua isipokuwa mimi? Kwanza enda huko ujulikane kitu unasumamia, then come back and tell us things. And that's how you know, and this is exactly what I'm telling the young people when they come. Like now, the young people, the Gen Z, are already in a crisis. Because, and I've talked to a few of them, because they have said leaderless, partyless, tribeless. I like the tribeless. I like the fearless. The leaderless is a disaster. So because they are leaderless and they are not, some of them don't even want to see somebody who's been there, majority of them are drifting to activism. Remember, it is only Kibaki who brought activists into his government. Every executive keeps the activists away. And I keep telling them, some of you and many of you don't belong to activism. You are actually leaders. So if you don't assign yourself to political parties, you will not grow into leadership. Those are the institutions that help you grow. And you must go there and learn to work with them and become different product after you've gone through them. So I am not dismissing the Gen Z. They sit together and bring themselves as candidates and the rest, but they have to campaign. Yes? And Gen Z alone in an area will still need the other vote to win. So while they are the majority, you need this other small number to make the difference on what you do.
You need the deep state.
No, you need, if you are in a family of 5 and the Gen Zs are 3, you still need to pay attention to the 2.
To the 2, yes.
Your father and father, how they handle their vote. If the 3 of you are running in the house, your father, mother vote also counts, because it's likely to make the difference. So I really am happy and energized by the fact that we have a very active Gen Z. I am certain by the end of these 2 years, they'll have gotten into political parties and you can now front them as candidates. They have a huge influence. They are the ones who know how best to communicate to their peers. And they will form majority on the floor of the house, I hope.
Okay.
But when it comes to, they will still need that helping hand. And that is why they themselves also, majority of them talks of Matiang'i that time. And you remember when Matiang'i was asked this question the other day, he said, by the way, I also don't understand politics. I'm a Form 1. So if you're looking for somebody new in politics, here I am, which was a perfect answer, because he's not a politician. Matiang'i is not a politician. If you want to know that Matiang'i is not a politician, is when you put him on top of a roof car. And we are not looking for people who are going to be on top of roof cars. We want people who can sit in offices. I was happy with the Gen Zs who said, after they listened to his interview, wakasema, ala, na kwani huyu ni Kibaki mwingine? That's what quite a bit of what we got from the Gen Zs.
Yes.
Wale wambao wanaelewa, sema hii ni Kibaki mwingine. But the country requires a Kibaki now. Somebody who will sit and can have all these things, and is somebody who is not a populist. Hii mambo ya kupelekea watu bocho na noe. I don't know whether you know what noe is.
No.
The soya bean.
Okay. I know soya. I just don't know it's called noe.
In Kikuyu, we call it inoe.
Okay.
Na it is not something that is very now huku kwetu tunaletewa noe soybean, na unajua vile inasubua tubo
inafurisha constipation,
hiyo
bloating.
Sasa hiyo watu wanaweza kushindwa kwenda kupiga kura kwa sababu ya tubo zimejaa noe. Hiyo ndio after all this borrowing materials of shillings and stealing wametuletea noe.
I've seen you on X saying that if the opposition, those people who are in opposition are not careful, Ruto is getting back. We have seen coalitions before, kuanzia the return of multipartyism in 1990. We have seen other coalitions working in our country, and of course later on after elections tunaona zinavunjika. Yes. Now what do you mean that if the opposition are not careful that Ruto is going to get back?
One is that I think it's also good to appreciate that if you look at the coalition buildings from 1992 all the way to even 1992, but more of it 97 and 2002, 2007, very little of it 2013, 2017, a little bit of it heavy 2022.
Yes.
Why was it heavier in 2022? Because then we took the step of providing an act of parliament, which provided for how do you do coalitions and recognize coalitions at the ORPP and all the way to even when you are being allocated the political party funding. So you will see more coalitions now than before, and they are not likely to disintegrate. You know, like now, if, for example, for the case of Azimio, you realize that very few people, the individuals who went out and said we have left Azimio, are the ones who did not have a stake in Azimio other than presence. A stake in form of, do I draw anything from this coalition? So even if they stayed, got nothing. Left, got nothing. But in the parties that actually have a stake in it, ODM, Jubilee, Wiper, and a little bit of DAPK, but the DAPK also was really true in it. They have never gone out there and denounced Azimio. So the coalition still holds to date.
Azimio.
Yes. And you cannot break it because it has even financial implications. It has legal implications. It's recognized by ORPP. It is actually the mismanagement of the house by Wetangula that messes Azimio.
Okay.
If it was Wetangula was a principled leader, speaker, Azimio, Junet would be sitting in the majority office because even there was a court ruling. But then now it goes beyond Wetangula because even Junet himself became a conman and is happy to be the minority leader but acting majority. Remember, since that judgment,
Yes.
you see more of Junet and less of Ichungwa. Government business is moved by Junet.
Yes.
The defender of the government of the floor is Junet, which is not what was meant to crazy finance bill.
All right.
Called crazy finance bill.
All right.
Because they are the ones who would have had a say in every financial entry that is done. But they sacrificed themselves on a nota. I don't know what kind of a nota.
Yes.
Kapa and the other one involved in the mega scandals. Akina Osoro are very young people. Very young. And he's the whip of the government. But what have they delivered to the youth? You are there, and you and I can tell.
So
I am saying we are going to have certainly a number of Gen Zs on the floor. But they should not forget what they were agitating for.
Right.
When they get to the trappings of a
Of
member
power.
of parliament. Because that is the disappointing bit.
If of 2027 Jubilee takes its own direction, Kalonzo na Wiper waende kivyao, Martha na party yake waende kivyao, Maraga and so on and so forth, or for you to be able to actually have something formidable against President William Ruto, you will need to stick together till the very end.
One is that if a political party has a candidate, it is advisable, and I'm talking this to the opposition, because I see some little bit of stiff-necked approach. It's advisable for you to sell your own presidential candidate. Tafadhali, muuze kwa raia. Wiper, you must market Kalonzo properly. Jubilee, you must market Matiang'i properly. DCP, you must market Ligiji properly. PLP, you must market Mother properly. DAPK, you must market Wamarua properly. So that then we are saying this party is pushing, and this is the response we are getting from the ground. That will then help us arrive at a candidate. But the danger is there when we know all of us go together and we are talking to people. Those rhetorics on top of cars will never translate to manifestos. We will never get to know what are you promising us. Kutoa Ruto, hiyo wa Kenya sisi wote tumekubaliana. Lakini tukishamtoa, who among you has an idea of what to do with the government? Because hatutaki sarakasi, and then we end up in a worse scenario. We want to concentrate now on what is this that you intend to do once you have been given the mandate. That we need to read it, and of course read it against your track record. So the opposition, the only reason why opposition is able to get a sitting president out of power, it is one, of course, its own organization, but two, and perhaps in the reverse priority, is the resolve of the Kenyans. Unlike ever before, Kenyans have resolved, if you talk to them, that they are fed up with those in power. They want a change. That, of course, means a heavier challenge to those who are looking for the opportunity to take over power. Because then you have to work harder to win the hearts of Kenyans.
Right.
Tragedy lies if then, out of desperation, you end up in the hands of a DJ. You remember other countries have produced disco jokers and such. Why that happens is that when they look at the people there's none of them who is capturing their imagination. And there was a time we were having that kind of a space in this country. And that time, what is this guy? There's a guy called, a guy I like listening to. One of the standard-owned comedians is, there's that guy called Professor
Hamo.
Yes. But there's also Tricky Sana.
MCA Tricky.
Tricky. Those are characters that can, and I'm not calling them characters in whatever. But those are Kenyans who can also bring their characteristics to power. Because at times they get to a point that say, who is this who is popular among Kenyans? Na huyo Tricky Sana ndio anajulikana kila kona hii.
Na apatiwe kura.
Now, apatiwe kura. It becomes very easy. So it's important, and this is why you will find the Gen Z also mentioning somebody like Matiang'i. Why? Because Matiang'i was in their lives at one point or another, just the other day. He touched each one of them through the education sector.
Actually, he was their CS for education.
He was their CS for education. So these are some of the things that you will find playing out a lot. Then you are talking about the old generation, and that's where it becomes a little tricky now. For those of us who served with Kibaki, our Gen Z wanaisoma kwa kitabu kama Biblia. They haven't felt you, so they are likely to go with this person they felt the other day, as opposed to that person whom they read about what they did in the book. However, if what you did is also remarkable and it stands out, then you also go take whatever. So that's why you will find that the Gen Z are not quite excited by the sloganeering ya magari. That's the other generation about iko kwa rural areas especially. About they're excited about that. Them, they are really keen on what is this that you can
do for them, the issues.
And I tell you, it is going to be a very interesting scenario. I know you have mentioned many. That's why you see people who thereafter, you see Maraga.
Yes.
Maraga, has traction coming from what? Him being at the helm of the judiciary, and them looking like a person who may offer justice, accountability, somebody who has demonstrated something that has affected Kenyans.
Right.
You will see Omtata, because he is
an activist
pushing for justice and transparency and accountability. you will see I've talked about Matiang'i because of what he did in especially the education sector.
Right.
When they start now putting their CVs on the table, you will see those kind of things. And of course you have Stephen also putting his credentials on the table. I see this thing becoming a thing that will be between, eventually it is going to be, I think, between Matiang'i and Kalonzo.
All right.
But Ligiji also wanting to run.
Yes.
And he's also going to be there.
Yes.
The issue would be that many Kenyans are also asking the outcome of this impeachment. Final outcome will help him define himself.
Okay.
But he's also having quite some sway in the people's minds. Yeah.
Your party leader, was the president of the country.
He's still he's still our party leader.
Yes, I'm saying the country. Yeah, so looking at it, like you said, Trump was given a second chance and he's way better than he was. Considering you pushing Matiang'i for the position of a president, given that opportunity as a party, and we saw during Uhuru Kenyatta's time, that is when cases of corruption were so many issues of corruption, and I want to believe that corruption is one of the key issues that are landing Kenya where we are right now. We are where we are because of the issues of corruption. Given an opportunity to get someone into that seat, how would you fight corruption in our country?
It's unfortunate that this country doesn't like strong fighters of corruption. I say that because whenever we have brought in activists who've been very focal on corruption, kule nje, they really struggle to get votes. So Kenyans don't want corrupt leaders, but they also don't want to help you
fight it.
Jail them. Hawataki. So at sometimes those of us who are really worried about corrupt leaders want to spend very little time saying what you do. You'd rather say the other positive things that you are going to deal with, but not what you are going to do with the corrupt. But you can then say everything that you want to say on how you stop corruption. I hold the view that those who've stolen from our coffers must be dealt with by the systems. And remember, we already have organs within our constitution that have the constitutional mandate, independent constitutional mandate to deal with the corrupt, and they can jail them if the those in power don't interfere. That would be my position. Okay. I am looking for that person who will allow systems to do their work. Not that he goes witch hunting.
No.
Wachilia wale ambao wamepatiwa kazi ya investigation waifanye. Kama umechikwa, pelekwa kotini, fungwa. That I believe in it. Right. And I am happy with that. And as I look at who is this who has that potential, or who is this who is looking for these offices, that is a guiding thing for me.
Okay.
Every executive will be accused of corruption. But in the executive, and this is what the Gen Zs are saying, responsibility rests with who? You may go to number one, yes. But this is even more important. Who is this who sat to sign that particular invoice, check, contract? Deal with that responsibility. That's why they went for Angat. You are the one who brought Ojwang from Homa Bay and ordered for his torture. The fact that he's coming back to office, that Ojwang will Langat will not be a comfortable person. So I also am happy with that, holding an individual
to account.
And that is the spirit of our constitution. Because it says, if you are being told to execute unjust order, tell your boss to put it in writing.
All right.
And by the way, you guys who are younger.
Yeah.
Or maybe I can see when Patricia may not have come around. Hapo beleni nilikuwa orders from above. You saw a little bit of it coming back. Wakisema orders from above, policy. There is nothing like orders from above in our constitution. Anything above you should come in a written form.
And it has
and that is why if you fire a bullet like the one that killed Joki, that young girl we were burying, And there are many others. By the way, there is another young man who was, that guy was drugged. You remember you saw it on, he was being drugged by police officers and he was being shot. That guy comes from Daragwa and the burial is on Friday. So all those people, if power was doing it properly, that bullet, for as long as you have the bullet that killed the person, you'll be able to tell from which rifle.
Okay.
And who was assigned that rifle that morning. So the police officers are now then saying, don't tell us to shoot. Because after I have done what you told me, I am the one who is left rotting in the prisons.
All right.
And that is then why for the 25th and the 7th, when the police officers were reluctant to carry out the orders, they went for others to come and carry out the orders as goons.
For them.
Okay. So I know corruption will be there, or has been there. Our constitution provides very clear and very elaborate ways of fighting it, including providing special courts to deal with the corrupt. But the political goodwill must be there to let those who steal, governors, members of parliament, go through the process. But let me say this finally. Kama uliiba mali ya wenyewe Buvi, na tukakuja kama serikali tukakusamehe wewe kwa sababu ulitusaidia kupata kura, kumbuka Patricia atakuja kwa serikali wakati yake, na ile faili ya Buvi bado itakuwa pale. We removed the limitation of time.
The statute of limitation.
Yeah, the statute of limitation. Tulitoa. So even watoto yako, at one point when this country will function, they will pay, they will answer for the ill-gotten wealth. In developed world, you can see cases of 50 years old, 60 years old being uncovered. And kwa nini mulifanya hivi?
All right.
And kwa hivyo Buvi, usifurahie kwa sababu ati uliiba na umekaa vizuri na umetulia.
Mtanikujia.
Ana sisi.
Kuna wale watanikujia.
And the correct thing is kusema utakujiwa.
Mheshimiwa, we have seen in the Star today that the ODM leader, Raila Odinga, might be interested in 2027 again. We have like 2 minutes before we exit. What are your thoughts on that?
If he thinks he should run. But he's really taken ODM the long way. But that's a decision to be made by the party. If he wants to learn, let him learn. I mean, hiyo itakuwa sawa. Wale wengine wakitaka kuran watalan. Coalition building will be there.
Yes.
But it is also coalition building with the willing. But I remember I say this because I can see your purple color. And Azimio was also carrying some bit of purple. Let me tell you what happens.
We have no connection with that.
Not that
carry on.
We are not bad people, bwana. Usije ukatukata namna haraka namna hiyo. As I conclude, let me tell you this.
Yes.
One of the things that hurt the candidature of Raila, the fact that people from his backyard not having turned up, that notwithstanding, was this that we put Raila na mother kwa chama inaitwa Azimio, na chama ambazo zilikuwa zinamsupport ni akina Jubilee, ODM, Wiper, many parties were 20 something. Yes, all of them, and they all fielded candidates across the country. So whenever I'm campaigning in Daragwa, I'm campaigning for myself as Jubilee. It will take time for me to remember kuna Raila na mother huko juu. That's one of the reasons why they lost.
Okay.
That will impact heavily on coalition building 2027.
All right.
If you have a candidate who is outside the parties that are running other candidates, hiyo pia, na William did it the other way around. He was the candidate of the UDA, which then invited coalition partners. So whoever was campaigning for MCA, wherever kwa Kenya hii, alikuwa namkampenia. That model, we must make sure that it doesn't come to haunt us again.
All right.
We have 1 minute, by the way. Moses Kuria. And if today you were given an opportunity to be the advisor to the president, would you accept?
Me, Jeremiah Kioni?
To advise president.
No, but I am already having my own issues at Jubilee, and I'm advising Matiang'i. So why am I looking for another office which has a lot of issues?
Say no more. Say no more.
Wacha wengine waende huko.
Thank you so much, Honorable Jeremiah Kioni. He is the Secretary General of Jubilee Party. We are deeply honored, and we hope that you'll bring for us now Matiang'i so that we can have this conversation with him.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
at least atuambie manifesto yake ni gani for the youth of this country. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Sawa.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Karibu.
God bless you. Muendelee kupanuka.
Tutapanuka zaidi.
Amen.
Asante.
Yes.
It's 9 o'clock.